All right. Welcome. You're now rocking with the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys, where we have intense, entertaining, educating, and enlightening sport talk from your favorite sports fam. Shout out to the mighty Who Dat Nation. We up in this thing and rocking it, man. So y'all hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. By all means, feel free to share the show on your social media feed. We in here talking, man. We're going to have a couple hour stream in which we're going to kind of react to some of the things that Kellen Moore said, a couple of the Saints players said. And we're going to talk about a few topics, a few questions, then we're going to dart out. I got a special guest in the building, my dog from the Keeping It Real Who Dat podcast, my boy, Randolph Dolph Jackson is in the building. What's going on, Randolph? How you doing, sir?
Man, what's going on, Q? What's going on, family? Who Dat Nation? How you doing, baby? Come on in. Take a seat, sit back, relax, put your feet up. Man, because me and Q, baby, we about to have a party in here tonight. Talk to me, baby. What's happening, baby?
So you can see Randolph is in good mood, man, because, hey, listen, we had a lot of positive things going on, bro. It's day 4 in parts. Not as many big signings as we've seen in the past few, days in terms of some of the bigger names like David Edwards, ETN, Noah Fant, and all these other guys. But today the Saints did get some backup help. They did re-up and welcome back Dylan Radunz on a 2-year agreement, bring him back as the Saints talked about it. That'll add a veteran presence in terms of the backup offensive lineman. That was a point of contention. Now there are several players there. In terms of the guards, Dylan Radunz is the top of the guard backups. And, of course, you have guys like Will Sherman, Torres Simpkins, Xavier Truss, Nick Saldiveri. In the tackles is Asim Richardson, Barry Wesley. So you got the Saints. That's the next leg of it as free agency starts to die off into the second layers of it. The Saints do bring back Dylan Radunz. Plus, on another note, one of the Saints' top backups from last year, former Saint Jonah Williams, is headed to the Cardinals. He was a very good backup for us, and he will be headed, to the Arizona Cardinals, man. So shout out to Jonah Williams. He did a real good job for us as a reserve last year, and the Saints will have to, go in a different direction. So you guys can see in terms of our depth chart, man, Saints keep adding to it, man, and adding to it and adding to it and adding to it. ETN's added in. We got the backup tight end, Noah Fant, the starting left guard, David Edwards, not Dylan Radunz as the backup. And we're going to keep going and going and going, man. We got a brand new punter, so there's an upgrade right there. There's right, Randall. There's a matter of fact, a poll question for the family members as you guys come in. Please feel free to vote on that poll. Shout out to all our people watching across IG, X, wherever. There's a poll up on YouTube, and there are 4 options. Which is your favorite Saints signing? There's David Edwards, Travis Etienne Jr., Kaden Elliss, and Noah Fant. Y'all get y'all votes in on the poll right now for so many of the guys that are voting. Travis Etienne Jr., 53% of the pollers at this time is saying he is, and David Edwards is at 47%. Kaden Elliss and Noah Fant do not have any votes currently, but this poll will be going on for the summation of the show. All right, Randolph, before we get going, bro, a lot of stuff was going on in free agency over the last 4 days, bro, with some of these pickups. Talk to me, brother. What do you thought about some of? What are your favorite? Give me your favorite and least favorite transaction of the young free agency period from the Saints thus far.
I'm gonna start with the least favorite. Got to be losing Demario. That's my least favorite of the transactions that have occurred. But I'm still kind of scratching my head about that one. I thought if Demario left, man, he would be making a move to a contender, maybe the Rams, maybe the Chiefs, maybe the Bills. But to see him go back to the Jets, I mean, it's kind of lateral move. But you can see that the money that he got, the Saints were not going to offer him that. And He pretty much took the money, man. Thank Demario Davis, man, for everything he has done as a member of the New Orleans Saints. He's always gonna be a Saint, and it's just a matter of time once he hangs it up for he's on the Saints Ring of Honor, Saints Hall of Fame, and hell, the Professional Football Hall of Fame in Canton, man. So that's my least favorite one, man. And you already the most favorite one was going to get David Edwards. And what I like is that leading up to the tampering period, you heard them being linked to David Edwards. And what I like is they got their guy. They were able to get him in the building. They were able to corral him. Now, what changed? I only heard a little bit of Noah Fant's introduction press conference, but he said something, Q, that stuck with me when they were asking him about what was the difference from last year and this year. We know what the difference was. We know what the difference is. He saw that young buck throwing that pill, and he said, "Hold on, hold on, they got something there." And but yeah, man, Dylan, I love David Edwards, Noah Fant. Of course, Foster Moreau goes to Houston. Love Noah Fant coming over, versatile tight end. And we know the league now is going to a lot of 12 and 13 personnel. So Noah Fant, Jawan Johnson, 12 personnel. Our healthy Alvin Kamara and Travis Etienne on the field at the same time, man. There are so many things you can do with those two. Alvin in the slot, matched up against a linebacker or safety. Man, come on. You know, I'm betting on a healthy Alvin, man. Love bringing Travis Etienne home. The young man's had 3,000-yard seasons. He's versatile. He's an inside zone runner, something that Alvin struggles with. Alvin's more of an outside zone runner. So, man, I like that. And the punter. Again, we don't pay attention to special teams until it bites us in the behind. And my God, with that punter we had, it bit us in the behind every week. If it wasn't a 28-yard shank, a 12-yard shank. But, Q, I got to say this. We get on them when we need to get on them. But, man, I got to shout out Mickey today. Mickey fleeced Houston. I don't know what the hell. I don't know what the hell the coaches in Houston, the special team coordinator in Houston, I don't know what film he was watching with Kyle Kroger, and that he said, hey, we need to trade a draft pick to get him to Houston rather than letting him become a free agent because we might not get him. Man, congratulations, man, because the special team coordinator in Houston needs to be checked. He may need to be replaced because I don't know what the hell he saw when he was looking at Kyle kick this year. Sorry to the Kroger family, but y'all watch the same games we watch. So
yeah, he most certainly wasn't a guy that made a positive impression. Let's just say it like that on the Mighty Who Dat Nation, especially as the year wore on. He kind of he fell off a cliff. You know, he was doing some shanking going on right there. And, of course, what it does getting Ryan Wright, and, of course, a lot of people kind of gave the Saints some issues early on because of the fact that they signed a punter on the opening, the first day of free agency. But the bottom line is this stops a procession, hopefully, of undrafted, unverified punters dating back to the end of where, when Blake Gillikin replaced Tommy Morstead. Then you had Headley. You had you had a string of Australian punters that just didn't know what to do, and ultimately credit to Kellen Moore and the special team staff for doing something about it, man. And like you said, that was a very interesting trade, Randolph, a punter trade. You don't see them punter trades often, man, but we definitely won the hell out of that one, man.
Yeah, we won that one, hands down. I mean, you're right, Q. When the last time we saw punters being traded? Pick swaps for punters. Punters are usually undrafted free agents.
It doesn't. Then when people realized who the punter was, it was the guy that booted the ball 80 yards, and to the point where the NFL thought the man had steroids in him. They drug tested him. He passed the test. He just was a strong leg punter. Right. He's good. And you need a guy like that because he helps out on special teams. That hang time allows those teams to get down there and cover. His directional punting is good as well. So it's an upgrade over who we had here in Kai Kroger, and then to get draft compensation for him in the future with a guy you was going to put in the street for nothing. I think that's a huge plus for Mickey and staff. So that's what it is.
And what I like too, I mean, when we sit back and we look, and I understood. Let me say this: I understand, and I understood the jubilance throughout Who Dat Nation. The Saints were active on the first day of free agency. Your phone was going off like 2-3 times within that hour. You were sitting back. You were putting your feet up, baby. You were feeling good. You had your chest poked out because it's been like several years. We used to have to wait till what, the third tier? We used to have to get the scraps, But no, the Saints but what I like, they identified what they needed. They identified weaknesses, and they attacked it in free agency, and they got the guys that they wanted. When was the last time the Saints got the guys that they wanted in free agency? It's been a while, man. And that's just showing you this program, man, is partnered in the right way. But let me tell Who Dat Nation is, please. I got to tell y'all that because some of y'all tripping right now. Some of y'all jumping off buildings, jumping in Lake Pontchartrain, doing backflips off the barges in the Mississippi. Stop it. Y'all getting like those people in Atlanta. All right. All this looks good on paper. That's nice. But we will not be paper champions like the Falcons. We will not be paper champions. It has to all come together. Solid signings. I love the return of Kaden Elliss. I love that signing. And to me, he starts.
Right.
Ain't no competition. I hear everybody saying Danny stuff. No. Kaden Elliss is the starter. Kaden Elliss is the starter. Now, Danny, he can battle Cousin Pete, who y'all keep trying to get rid of, but all I know, Cousin Pete keeps staying on the field.
He does stay on the field.
They bring people in, but Cousin Pete keep beating them out. I'm just saying. Sometimes y'all got a good football player is a good football player. I'm just saying, you need solid football players.
Yeah, and that's the thing, though, Randolph. That's I think people are excited for the Saints being relevant in terms of free agency because they're riding the energy of last season. How last season ended is exactly how the new offseason begins. You ride that energy. It's consistent. The Hall of Fame announcement of Drew Brees, you ride that energy into the regular season. And the Saints are doing that. They're keeping that energy high, and they're riding that energy into the season. And they went out there, like you said, and they got the guys that they believe is right for the team. David Edwards is a good fit at the guard position.
Yes.
And they have done a good job in cycling through and handling that. So, a lot of people are very, some of the family members that's just been asleep for a while because of all of the losing, and they just tuned out. But now that there's something to be happy about, you start seeing a lot of who that's wake up to the winning of the Saints, and they have that vibe and that energy. Even if the Saints lose some games, as long as they're competitive, is what most people, most commonsensical people all you can ask for your team is just be competitive.
Right.
And I think they'll have the pieces to do that, but wisely said that they'll have to put this stuff together when we get into training camp, mandatory, voluntary, OTAs, all this stuff. We got to put it together. So anyway, that's a few things to kind of talk about, fam, as we kind of progress into the stream, man. Y'all hit that like button. Also feel free to share the show on your social media feed. Indeed, Kaden Elliss and me will start. He will be there, and you continue to see. I think Coach Staley will continue to do what he's been doing in terms of we'll see what he'll do with the rotation of Pete Werner and Danny Stutzman. rotating those guys to keep them fresh. And I think that works for Pete Werner because he didn't really have much of that banged up stuff that we've seen in previous. He's kind of solid and out, and that's keeping them on the field and keeping them productive. So I think he can only get better. And plus, Danny Stutzman they're very proud of Stutzman. But having Kaden Elliss here, man, is a good get for me. It's a solid pickup. And he knows the Saints culture. He was drafted by us. He comes home unfinished business, and that's what it is. We got to get it. So anyway, let's get right on to it. We're going to start off with the reaction stream. Y'all know that Kellen Moore today talked to the press about several Saints key moves, and he kind of sidestepped some questions in terms of Alvin Kamara. So we're going to listen to it, and then we're going to address it. Here we go.
Note on each of those guys, and then we'll be good to go. So just want to highlight some of these guys as we go through this. It's been a fun process as we go through this free agency. Again, we kind of continue to evaluate. He's obviously going to have a huge impact on us. Travis Etienne, huge fan of this guy going back to Clemson, following his career in Jacksonville. His vision, his speed, obviously, to make some home run. Fant. So tight end, took us 2 times to get this guy, so I had to give him a little bit of crap for that. So our second time worked. Followed his career closely, going back, obviously, loved him out of Iowa when I was in Dallas at the time, goes to Denver, goes to Seattle. I thought, did some really good things there. We tried to obviously get him last year. It didn't work out. Not the right timing, but his position flex, his ability to line up in a number of positions is very valuable. And so obviously he's going to be a great asset to this. His ability to team up with Juwan and the rest of that tight end group will be great, be a ton of fun. And then Ryan Wright, another local guy with local ties, Tulane. He's had a great start to his NFL career. His first few years in Minnesota, I thought he did obviously a tremendous job. You can look at all the numbers and what their production was. His best football is even going to be ahead of him. We're really, really excited to get him here, get him on board, and obviously he's going to become probably very much a leader of our special teams unit. And then Kaden Elliss, didn't like playing this guy the last couple of years. Philly played him once, twice last year. He's a really, really special player, really special person. I think a lot of us in this organization, around this community, know Kaden. It's just awesome, just the way this thing fell, and to have an opportunity to bring him back. He's going to be a big time leader for us, and and what he does on the field and his versatility and his ability to play in a number of spots obviously is very, very valuable. And so he's going to be a huge asset for us, both on the field, off the field, and a ton of fun there. And then obviously the one guy we were able to sign so far is John Ridgway. So Ridge is back, love his development, love where he's going, and excited to keep working with him. And so I think if there's a theme, bunch of high character guys that we love in this locker room. They're going to be great teammates, great people in this community. And obviously we certainly recognize the ability for them to perform on the field. And so it'll be a lot of fun. This is a few days in. There's obviously a lot of guys that we'll still be trying to acquire and work through this process, but it's been really good.
Getting David Edwards in there to help shore up the offensive line.
Yeah.
How key was that for you beginning this free agency process?
Felt really good identifying him as an ideal fit for our group, for our unit. Him kind of rolling in there next to Kelvin at that left guard spot felt like it was just a really clean transition for us. Watching his career, his consistency, his steadiness, what he did in Buffalo as far as leading that group, we certainly identified that. It's certainly a goal of ours. If this worked, it would be awesome. And fortunate for us, it felt like a good match for him and what he was looking for as well.
You saw that massive offensive line you had. You were orchestrating the Eagles' offense. How much does this help replicate the style that you want to have from that time?
I just think you're always looking at offensive line, defensive line, that the importance of those positions, and so that's a year-round acquisition. Certainly, David's a big important piece to this. To have the last 2 first-round picks be our left tackle, right tackle, have some depth inside with all those guys. We feel like we're in a really good place.
You mentioned, you have the run, you feel like Edwards and Etienne help with that.
Yeah, we certainly feel like we've made some progress there. And so, again, we got a lot of guys we feel great about in this building already, and we'll just continue to develop this thing. And again, this is a long process, as you go through this roster building phase of the calendar. But both those guys, we felt like if we had the opportunity, we'd be fired up.
Was it imperative to get a guy like Kaden Elliss since you've lost Demario? Was it important to kind of fill that void?
Certainly, it was an important piece of it. By no means do you want to narrow your focus just to that piece, but really playing Kaden, he's a really challenging matchup. His ability to rush the passer, to play coverage, he's really smart, really savvy, and then you kind of first identify that, and then you match all this leadership and his ability to influence the locker room. We felt like it was just a really good opportunity for us, and especially with Brandon's scheme and the way he utilizes backers and the pressure plans that we can utilize with Kaden. I think it's going to be a really perfect match for us, for Kaden. I think it's a really good situation.
That's a big key right there, though, Randolph. He mentioned the fact that with Demario gone and possibly Cam Jordan gone, Who's the leader of your defense now? So you see Kellen Moore kind of leans into it about the leadership aspect, being at that position. He literally sits in the center of the defense. Now, we know that Kaden Elliss is incredibly intelligent. We've seen what he did in the time that he was here with New Orleans. So,
right.
you know, let's quickly kind of hit on that, touch on that point. Kaden Elliss looking at, Kellen looking at Kaden as the potential leader person in the center of the Saints defense.
Right. It goes back to what you said, man. And listen to Coach Moore. He thinks really highly of Kaden Elliss. Kaden Elliss did don the green dot in Atlanta. Everyone in Atlanta, they talk highly of Kaden Elliss, his intelligence. Right. When the young man was here, he was an intelligent player, and he did intelligent things like following Demario Davis around through the building, you know, and he studied Demario. He saw how the great ones work. He saw how he worked. So he kind of mimicked himself after Demario Davis. And you saw when he got his opportunity, though circumstances were the only reason he got on the field, but when he got his chance, you saw that kid blossom right before our eyes. And then he goes to Atlanta, and the kid just blossomed. He played real. I think he's gotten even better. But what's underrated, what I like what Coach Moore said there, is that pass rush. He's I believe he said it twice about his ability to get after the passer, Q.
Oh,
that's something that he's going to bring. And I'm really curious to see how Coach Staley will use him in 2025 as far as getting out, getting after the quarterback. You know,
26.
I'm still in last year.
That's all right, bro.
I'm still last year, man. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, man, very intelligent player, leader, well respected, man. And that young room, that's a young room, because then you have him and Pete Werner. Those are the two old heads in the room now. Just not as old as Demario was. But
right, he's 30. Yeah, he's 30. So he's a vet.
He's a vet, man.
Yeah.
He's a vet. I guess you can call him he's a vet in his prime.
A young old head?
Yeah, he a young old head, a vet in his prime, baby. You know what I'm saying? He a vet in the prime.
A vet in his prime.
He a
prime veteran. That's right. There you go.
Prime
there you
vet.
go.
That we gonna call him a prime vet. Look, we done conquered up a new saying. Prime vets, baby. Prime vets.
Well, we could use a few more of those prime veterans, especially. And of course we know the word is still out on Cam Jordan. I personally think that Cam is gone. That's just me. I think he's gone, and I hope I'm wrong, but we'll see how it works. But it's interesting, man. That leadership, you got to find a leader of the defense, and that's what Kaden Elliss it could potentially be. Let's get back to it. Randolph, feel free to stop it wherever you want to, bro.
Facility,
All right.
kind of, and the fact that he's younger than Demario, the reason you guys don't like is the AP lot, kind of what they're making per year is the same. So you guys went in a different direction.
Yeah. I don't want to go into like all the negotiating aspects of these things just because it's not fair to anyone. But obviously we know we love Demario, and so this thing worked out, with Kaden having the opportunity to come here, and really excited about it.
Did you kind of just put out the Idaho connection when it came to Kaden?
That was my only hesitancy. I'm just tired of all these Idaho handle guys that I keep running into. So,
You mentioned his versatility a couple times. I mean, obviously there's a vacancy for traditional linebacker spot, but do you see his role as something more than like just a mic?
I mean, he starts as an off the ball linebacker. That's what he's done. But you can see where he's lined up the last few years. It's not going to be. We're not going to reinvent this thing. His ability to play on the ball and certainly in passing situations has been very valuable. It's been a huge challenge for offenses. Certainly I've seen it from our vantage point on the offense side, preparing against him, and so he'll provide us a lot of depth there.
With Etienne, I guess what did you like about him, and do you see a world where? I guess how do you see the world with he and Alvin, and the expectation is that Alvin will be here?
Yeah, we'll go through that. We'll go through that whole process. Obviously, we know we love Alvin, and Travis, is a really special player. Certainly we identified just feeling like this is a really good fit, really good timing. He's kind of gone through those first few years of his league. He had to navigate a little bit of some stuff early in his career, got through that, and then I thought last year his film was just really, really good, and felt like schematically it was a nice little marriage with what they were doing with Liam, some of the run concepts they were doing and stuff we'd like to utilize, and so it felt like it was a good match. And he's got some ability to play in the pass game. Thought protections he's got some there, and so hey, he's still young. He's still going to keep growing. He's still going to be getting better, and it was really cool to get to have the opportunity to sign him and bring him back here.
Stop it right there. Stop it right there, Q.
Good.
Stop it right there, Q. There we go, baby. Boy, listen, I got to give Kellen Moore credit. In just 1 year, he has learned coach talk. Boy, he has learned coach talk, man.
Yeah.
He
sidestepped. He sidestepped that one like he played professional dodgeball, man. He did a pretty good job on that.
The hell out of that question, man. We gonna keep going through the process. Obviously, we love Alvin. Man, listen, man. This man has grown up right before our eyes. Not only did our young quarterback grow up, but our young head coach grew up, man. And I got to give him cool. He impressed the hell out of me, man. I got to say it. He's impressing the hell out of me, man. Boy, he sidestepped that question like horse doo-doo in the French Quarter, man. That man, boy, listen, Kellen Moore, boy, kudos to you, coach. Boy, you done learned, man. Go ahead, Q. I'm sorry, man.
Yeah, well, Randolph, I tell you what, man, he learned fast, don't he, bro? He's the coach's son. Yeah. So I mean, I guarantee you, he getting game from his pops any chance he can. But yeah, he has really developed and got really matured in that second year. And when you come to New Orleans, bro, you go through a time tunnel. You gonna either get it or you gonna get the flame of the Who Dat Nation, man. We don't play about this stuff. You got to get it right. Here we go.
Yeah, we'd like to go through that process, certainly, and so we feel obviously we know Alvin means a lot to us. Again, this is we're 3 days in this thing. We've signed Travis, and we'll go through that process.
Is he considering retirement?
I'm not gonna get into all that stuff. I haven't had those conversations in any way, so.
Yeah, coach. He got a little swag. Look, he done got a little swag with him. Got his chest. Look, man. Listen, man, I ain't about to answer all that, man. I ain't getting into all that, man. Oh, I tell you, boys, a calendar year makes a difference. I tell you, man.
Oh my goodness. Randolph, he ain't getting into all that, bro. So let us get into it right quick before we go back to Coach Moore.
Yeah.
This is a simple answer. Let me see if you agree. Alvin Kamara has said countless times, man. I don't know how long, that I've been listening to Alvin Kamara for years, especially on the back end of his career when he signed that last agreement to come back. His goal was to retire as a Saint. He made a comment about drinking pina coladas on the beach if they try to make him do anything else.
Yes, he did.
So if there are rampant trade rumors circulating around about him potentially being traded, Alvin has not switched his focus. He is a black and gold man from the start to the finish, and I respect the hell out of that. It is no indication that he has changed his mind on this topic whatsoever. Now, there was a story that Alvin told last year in the locker room about Mickey Loomis approaching him, and I made a whole little deal about it, about him being Mickey coming up to him, and it was kind of strange because Mickey Loomis don't usually go up and talk to these guys. That many of them said it. He don't engage them like that. He got his little place and all this kind of stuff, but he had a conversation where Mickey Loomis came up to him, asked him where he wanted to go. And he was taken back by that. But he ultimately found out, that Mickey Loomis was asking him if he wanted to be traded. And he reiterated to Mickey that he wanted to be a Saint for life. With all these rumors circulating, and you can see Coach Moore could have put it all to bed with he a Saint. I don't know what y'all talking about. Bat that down. That's not the reply that we would want. That's more concrete. But what's your take on it?
Well, when he asked him about, I think it's more about retirement more than trade. Like you, I've been looking on the internet. Everyone's like, oh, they got Travis Etienne. You got all these experts and media heads saying well, Alvin Kamara could be available in New Orleans. He's not available. Like you said, the man has said countless times, man, I'm not going to play for anyone else. I will retire. And he means it. Listen, when he leaves football, he got NASCAR, he got other ventures he can get into. He's got so many other things to do. The man it means something to him to finish his career as a New Orleans Saint. It means something to him. And before he goes anywhere, I take like you, Q. I take him at his word. I believe he'll walk away before he dons the uniform of another team, man. If he couldn't win it here, he don't want to win it nowhere else. That's my take on it, Q.
I agree with you, bro. I don't think Alvin Kamara is going anywhere unless the Saints are trying to force him out, and I don't think the Saints are trying to force him out. Just because you get Travis Etienne Jr. does not mean that Alvin Kamara becomes expendable. Yeah. He's on a 1-year deal that they restructured that benefits the team. Right. He has 1 year remaining. So does Kendre Miller. Then you have Devin Neal in the second year of his agreement. Then Audric Estime as the fifth back. As we seen last year, you need a full covenant of running backs because, fam, we got all the way down to our fourth running back last year, Randolph. Fourth and fifth, Audric Estime and Ethan All.
And Q, as you were saying that, I was just going to say, each person you just named after Travis Etienne, the three immediate after him were injured last year.
That's right.
That's how Audric Estime finished the season as the lead back. Yep. Each and every single one of them. And get this, last year, we didn't have one running back rush for 500 yards. So
that's right.
Is that all on the running backs? Is it the scheme? Or is it on that offensive line? I think it was a combination of everything.
It's a mixture.
But most importantly, man, it's about up front. And we know what Alvin's strong suits are. It's not an inside zone runner, man. He's an outside zone runner. Alvin is the guy, you get him in space, man, and you just let him shine. Now you got Etienne. He's an inside zone runner, and he can go outside, and he can get you in space. His hands have improved since he came into the league. So all this get rid of Alvin just because they signed Travis Etienne, to me, is foolishness. Now, if he retires, so let me ask you this, Q, and everybody in the chat. If by the NFL draft, Alvin decides to call it a career, does that put the Saints back in the Jeremiah Love sweepstakes?
It most certainly does. I mean, you got it because you can, and it's nothing guaranteed, right? We know we got Travis Etienne here, but it's when you get a guy like, if you have an opportunity, because I'll put it to you like this, Randolph, it comes down to 3 spots in the draft, and thank the Most High, we got 5 draft picks in the first 4 rounds, so we can do some damage and add some talent there. But yeah, Jeremiah Love is a running back that you don't see often. Like, you can put some of these other running backs in the box. He's different. Let's just put it to you like that. Yes, sir. And if you can add him with Tyler Shuck and have that guy there and Travis Etienne, and then there is an imaginative offensive genius-minded coach like Kellen Moore could find a way to have them to share the field at the same time. I mean, because Etienne he can do the pass catching thing. You can do some stuff, and like I said, it's 3 guys: Jeremiah Love, to me, Caleb Downs, and you're looking at one of the edge rushers that might come to you based on what happened with Cam Jordan, because edge rusher is also a position of need depending on what they do in the next leg of free agent. There are several other defensive ends out there. Bosa, who Staley coached. There are a few other guys out there. Cam, I think he might be gone, but depending on what they do there, we got a few more moves to make. But Jeremiah Love, bro, if you make a big board, Randolph, but Love has got to be up there. He got to be your top 2 or 3 player on that big board.
Let me say this. I hate the fact that, and this is nothing, because I got people saying, man, you was just hating on Fernando Mendoza. I'm not hating on Fernando Mendoza. But when Mel Kiper sat up there last week and a couple more ESPN heads and said that he was the best overall player in the draft, stop it, because he's not. He's the best quarterback in the draft. The best overall players in this draft is Jeremiah Love and the guy that I want at number 8. I'm telling you.
Downs.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. First down. Shut him down. All the way down. It's so many things I could do with that, man. I'm telling you, man. And him replacing him, and he's a day one starter.
Yes, he is.
He's a day one starter. They get Caleb Downs. He's a day one starter. Put him in that star role.
Yep.
Listen, he comes up. He can play the run. He can play the pass. He blitz. He can come safety, corner, in the box. Now, one thing that I would like to see him improve on is turnovers.
Yeah.
Got to improve on. You got to catch the ball. You got to catch the ball.
I think he does. I think Randolph once you get your secondary guys in there, the secondary coaches get Downs in there, plus the connection, that really elevated stop. Don't think for a second he did that interview with Tyler Shuck. We did the reaction of the day to it, and he mentioned the fact that he was come up as a Saints supporter. So, I mean, that when the Saints hear that and Tyler Shuck saying what he's saying to him, that's a very interesting thing right there. But he comes right in, Randall. I think that guy in a couple of years, man, that dude could be every bit as impactful as Winfield is to the Bucks. He can be able to be having that level of impact with the Saints defense.
That's a good comparison. And think about this, Q. As this young secondary matures and grows, Quincy, Kool-Aid, man, we got to shout out Kool-Aid. Kool-Aid, he was sugar free for a minute. He was sugar free. I refuse to call him Kool-Aid.
He ain't lying.
There were times he was sugar free, but he turned to Kool-Aid at the end of the season. That we need that. We need that Kool-Aid, man. We need that fruit punch and that grape mix every Sunday, baby. That's what we need, man. Quincy, man. Jonas Sanker. All right. Coach Jordan Reed back there, the veteran. And listen, I love that we brought Julian Blackman back.
Yeah. That was a good one.
For him to have the type of game he had on opening day, man, and then a fluke injury like that, man, that hurt me, man. That kid can play. I'm telling you, that secondary, you put Caleb Downs, you put Downs with that, man, I'm telling you, this secondary, it can be scary, man.
It's already a top 5 secondary, I want to say, in the NFL already, and Downs he would become a star. I mean, he would play the star role, but Randolph, he would become a legitimate bona fide star in the Saints defense.
With Alante gone, are they still a top 5? Because he did so much. He did much.
Not now. Not now, but we incomplete. We're incomplete right now. It's still very early. So we got, once we get all the way into it, when we start hitting the OTAs and right before we get to where the camps that count, then you can get a overall feeling of what the team looks like. Because right now we at the first layers of it. We still got several layers of free agency to go through. The next big tip is the draft in late April. Then behind that, we have the undrafted market immediately following that, what we need to do. And then, of course, ultimately the OTAs, and then leading into the training camp, mini camp, training camp. And then you'll see what kind of team that you have going on. So, yes, indeed, bro. We're still a work in progress, man. But I love the direction they headed in. We're definitely headed in the right direction, in my estimation, bro.
Yeah,
I'm not going to tell you. All right, let's get back to it. Here's Kellen Moore.
Demario, about how much you love him. Your first year here, you also mentioned Foster. I remember in training camp.
Yeah.
Obviously, things changed. Like food.
Yeah.
Just maybe what those guys meant to you, especially in year one.
Yeah. This is the inevitable part of the NFL. It's a dynamic that is always fluid. Rosters change each and every year. You get to build really good relationships with a lot of special people, and they're really special people. And so you appreciate everything everyone does for each and every year. and guys are going to go to other places and have different opportunities, and you're fired up for them on a personal level. You're excited for them. You're bummed when your paths don't cross again, but that's what this league's all about. And so you got to be able to kind of navigate those things. And you just keep going. And, guys like Kaden comes back after a few years. And so that's the fun cycle of the NFL. And so we just keep bringing in really, really good people, really high character people who will be great in this community, who certainly have the ability to perform really well on the field, and we'll be in a really good place.
What's the challenge of, I guess, so to say, trying to reinvent the locker room maybe after you lose a lot of leadership at one time? Does that kind of play out naturally?
Well, yeah, I think it's something that guys it's going to feel different. Just every year is going to feel different, but certainly when there's some different voices in there, it'll feel different, but that's a great opportunity for some other guys to maybe carry their voice a little bit stronger. Every single year, no matter what the roster looks like, you're going to have to develop that. And so that's what an entire offseason program is all about. OTAs, training camp, getting prepared for a season. We want those type of guys.
I know you don't want to guess what Alvin's thinking, but how are you? Are you approaching it as though you need to have contingency plans, or there's uncertainty in plan A and plan B there? Or?
Really, we were able to sign a few guys so far. Obviously, we've had those conversations, and we'll see where the next few months take ourselves as this season goes. Again, we got a lot of roster stuff to navigate, but we'll be just fine.
Q, he thinking about retiring.
Say again, Randolph.
He thinking about retiring. I think Elvin's contemplating retirement, man. I'm listening to how this man's talk. I think Elvin's contemplating retirement right now. Just because I believe that was Mike Triplett that asked that question, if I'm not mistaken. And from his reaction, and we still going through the process, we got months and months. Now, earlier you said you want to go get into it. Now we're going through the process. You see what I'm saying? So
Triplett, bro. Let me tell you something about Mike Triplett. Shout out to Mike Triplett. Been reading Triplett's work for years when he worked for the Times-Picayune. So, knowing about him, even to Underhill, going back to the Advocate. So I'm very familiar with these men work. And what I know about Mike Triplett, when he left to go to ESPN, Mike Triplett always been a reporter that asks more questions than anybody else in the room. Mike Triplett will ask a question. He's a master at that. He will ask a question, then ask the same question in a slight deviated way. Yeah. Over again to see if he can crack open a little bit more, because you see, the thing is, he'll ask his question, and then several questions later, he'll come back and ask that Alvin Kamara question another way. Yeah. Now, the reason why he hitting him with that question, because Triplett, those guys are really insightful. They got the inside baseball, Randolph. They know a little something, and he trying to get a little insight, a little verification from the Saints side, and Kellen gives a little bit. So you could be on that, Randolph. It could be some retirement competition going on there.
Right. Now, I'm not saying he is, Jerry. I see Jerry say I just bought a Kamara jersey. I'm not saying he is. I'm saying from how it's sounding, he could be. He could be thinking about it. That's all I'm saying.
Could be, bro. And listen, bro, Alvin has been he always been in the best shape. He's the most well-conditioned Saint there was. He's been dealing with these injuries the last 2 years. And he's in the final year of his agreement, and it's getting to a point where, he could be contemplating. I hope not, man, because I want him to finish strong. I want him. He got ETN, but he'll be more as a roll back. He's no longer the featured back. He'll be in, RB2. Right. So his season shouldn't be as rigorous as it would if he was RB1. So hopefully that would not be, he wouldn't have an issue with that. All right, J-Rock, shout out to you, brother. He says, if Downs isn't there at 8, and if the Saints take Styles or Bain Jr. with that pick, I would love to get Bud Clark in the 2nd or 3rd round. So if Downs ain't there, the Sonny Styles or Bain Jr. Yeah, Sonny Styles is a hell of a player, but you kind of create a logjam at the linebacker position, don't you? Just invested $33 million in Kaden Elliss. You still got Pete Werner. Yeah, you still got Stutzman. I mean, you still have you still got a few guys there that's under contract for a couple of years. So I don't know. He's a talent, Now on Bain would fill a need if the Saints don't, come in and do anything about signing a veteran. But that's interesting. Randolph, what you think?
I don't want a veteran. I want a young pass rusher. We got enough veterans. And we got Fadil Diggs, 2nd-year veteran. We
That's
got
right.
Chase. We got Granderson. If Cam doesn't come back, go get you a young pass rusher in this year's draft. I don't want no
Bosa?
veteran. Man, Bosa ain't been the same in the
No
last
Bosa in the
couple years.
reserve role?
No.
Okay.
No, he ain't his brother.
Okay, so Randolph said no Bosa. If the Saints
Hell
circle
no.
back to Cam, you good with that?
Yeah.
Okay, you good with Cam, not Bosa.
Listen, Cam, I'm good with Cam. Cam got 10 sacks last year, but some people want to say, well, yeah, but last year, the year before, he got 2. You got to look at everything. Look at the scheme he was playing in. They had them. We know one thing. Cam hates playing well.
Inside.
Interior, inside. And
He
that's
hates
where they had him at. He hates that. And you heard him talk about it in the offseason about, whatever that coach, because he ain't
He wanted to
fond
put
of it.
hands on Grantham.
Yeah, he wanted to put
Yeah.
hands on it.
Yeah.
He kind of sideways my career, tried to, that was foolishness, man. Cam Jordan, man, one of the greatest defensive ends in the history of football, damn sure the New Orleans Saints. But yeah, Cam and Bosa, it's not even a contest for me, Q. It's
I
Cam
got you.
all day. It's Cam
So
all day.
what young players in the draft, Randolph defensive ends in the first round, if they're there, you would you like? Obviously, you see J Rock mentioned Bain. Anybody else?
Yeah, the kid from Auburn, man. I'm gonna tell you that right now, Q. Keldrick Falk from Auburn, man.
The Falk.
Yeah, started watching him the other night, man. Like his explosion speed, the power, man. Got some shifty hips, man. Good get off, and he got a little mean streak to him too, man. And he plays with good leverage too, man.
Is 8 too high for him?
I think 8
8 a little too high for him.
I
He
think,
good.
I think 8 a little too high for him too. But what I'm looking at for the draft is somebody's going to take within the top 4 or 5. Somebody's going to take an offensive lineman, maybe 2, and that's going to push all that talent down the board. So when the Saints are on the clock, they go get calls about possibly moving back. But if you listen to Mickey Loomis, he gave that inside scoop about his thinking. Todd McShay, he gave it to you.
That's right.
We know how they think in the draft room now. So nobody should be surprised if the Saints move up to get who they want. Because as Mickey said, why would I move back to get a lesser player on my board?
That's right. This guy here knows me.
That's it. Hey, Mickey, I know you, baby. I've been listening to you, baby.
I mean, man, this guy is awesome, man.
Hold on, Mickey. You must ain't here when I was talking about you because
I only hear great things.
You fumbled the ball a lot. Now that 2025 class got you feeling good. I like the momentum we on.
I was sick all that year. I was sick all that year. Yeah.
Yeah, you were sick because you had Who That Nation. We were sick of you. We wanted you gone.
I only hear positive stuff. I don't hear any negative. Everything
well,
negative
I'm
is
talking
noise,
positive about you now. Mickey, Mickey, I want to congratulate you on fleecing the Texans, Mickey. How the hell did you do it? How
I don't like to, pat myself on the back every now and again.
Go ahead, Mickey. It's all right. Go ahead, Mickey. So, Mickey, I guess you learned something from that GM in Philly. Hold on
now. I let that happen just so you can think I was weak, so I can then come up with these trades. Now look what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing now. God damn it! Let me tell you something, man.
Mickey, I like what you're doing.
Oh, thank you.
Like.
I want you to spread that around the internet now.
Yeah,
spread that around the internet.
I ain't gonna spread it around that thick. You got to win. You got to win some. You got to win some game, Mickey. You got to win some damn game. Now we still finished 6-11.
That's right. And Randolph also, man, we giving a shout out to Mickey Loomis. Give a shout out to his entire staff, man.
Yeah,
Mickey got several former general managers as advisors on the staff. Plus, Kai Hartley is there, who does the contracts and all that. So even though we give Mickey the credit, there's a lot of other really good thinking that he relies on in that build. He's the final world, but that's what it is.
When they gonna make this man should be the heir apparent to Mickey Loomis. Hands down. It should be a written contract. Kyle Hartley takes over when Mickey steps down. Who in the hell knew about that 50% clause, 50% rule? You create cap space,
Man.
and you ain't have to pay Alvin. You ain't had to give up no money. Gail ain't had to write a check.
That's
man, come on, man.
That's the benefit of having Randy Mueller. That's the benefit of having Thomas Dimitrioff. That's the benefit of having Kai Harley. These are guys that were general managers in the NFL for many years. And when you have a collection of guys that actually ran teams, there's a lot of different factors and minds in that building that's really helping Mickey out. So they are really making them smart, like some of these trades and all this. And we know Mickey done trades before. The Philly situation got fleeced with that. But these are really intelligent trades, not to take away from Mickey Loomis, because he had the wherewithal to be able to sign all these former general managers, but they've made some stellar moves, man. So he really empowered his advisory board, as I would like to call them, around him for these decisions. So it's very positive to see what they got on. But J-Rock, thank you, bro. Appreciate that.
Thank you very much. Picking me up, bringing me back to this world.
All right, let's get right back and finish up with Kellen Moore. Then we'll get into the David Edwards part of his interview. Here we go.
Consider it a target, I understand. But would you say that
y'all hit the like button, fam?
These are kind of the first two big signings that kind of broke. Would you say that those were like goal players that you really wanted to go after?
I think they're clean evaluations. We love the character and love the performance, and felt like they were opportunities that if they presented themselves, we knew they were going to be recognized around the league, I should say. Certainly a lot of people were, and so feel fortunate that those worked out for us.
Where would you envision Noah Fant playing with Jawan Johnson?
Yeah, I feel like really well. Both those guys, Noah's played in some tag team situations before in Seattle and certainly in Cincinnati a little bit with their group. So he's played in those situations. I think they complement each other. They have some similar characteristics, but they also complement each other well enough. I think it's going to be a really good opportunity for us to pair those guys together on the field at the same time and supplement each other when they need to. So.
You guys, you're happy with the hat, or you're always looking, but.
Yeah, it's a year-round process, so there's a lot of stuff that comes up throughout this whole process, and we'll continue to go, and there's plenty of stuff to navigate.
Delonte, I know he was a versatile piece to the defensive system.
Yeah, love Delonte. Love Delonte. He's a really, really good player in this league. His best football is ahead of him. We had 1 year with him, but I felt like he had a huge impact on us, and so he's gonna have a huge impact on Tennessee as they kind of build that thing with Robert, and so he's gonna have a huge impact there. I think going back to Tennessee, having some ties there will be really cool for him, and so again, one of those things that it's a bummer, when you lose these guys, but it's part of this NFL journey for everyone.
Now, how much was when you look at the factors that go into getting that guy back here, was the franchise's previous or prior investments in him any factor at all? Was it a guy that got away that they want to get back, or was it really just based on he's been good in Atlanta for 2 years and we need that guy?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think ultimately you start with the film of last year and just evaluating him from a player perspective, and then all the connections allow us to recognize who the player is, how he's going to fit in this locker room, how he's going to fit in this community, and all those things. We got an added bonus because a lot of this building knows him so well, and so there's a lot of relationships that stayed strong through that whole process. Even though he went to the red side of this thing, and so we brought him back to the right colors, and it'll be awesome.
That's right.
It's a long process, and it's a
Bring 'em
always
home.
evolving process. Are there any updates that you could potentially give on where you all may stand with Cam or even Taysom, since they are free agents?
Yeah, we love those guys, and that's part of what this process is you just got to go through a process with everyone, and we obviously love those guys. Love a lot of these guys that we're going through this thing, and that's what it's all about. And so we'll just take it step by step, keep staying in communication, and we'll see how this thing plays out.
All right, that's his question about Taysom and Cam that he threw out there, and he sideswiped the hell out of that one again. So he doing a lot of dodging. This guy on some Dragon Ball Ultra type stuff going on right here, man. He
was prepped for this.
This is Kellen Moore Ultra Instinct. He just moving all around the questions, and he was definitely prepped, especially when you talk about the Cam questions.
Yes, he was prepped for this, man. He was ready. He came loaded. Come on with the Cam questions.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing, though. You mentioned Alontae Taylor. When we talk about him, Randolph, that the $60 million for him, man. That Titans got from him. That's big, man, for him to get that kind of contract. We knew coming into this thing that if anybody was going to lose anybody, it's going to be Alante. But when you talk about the three really solid Saints defenders at every level of last year's defense, Cam, Demario, Alante, and then you lose Alante, you lose Demario, and then you got Cam, and you, in my estimation, I think we kind of done with Cam. Because I never thought 0 for 3, Dolph.
I mean, it's all about the bread. I'm sorry, man. Got Bruce going crazy because mama coming home. He's mama. But first of all, let me say I'm happy for that young man. I'm happy for Alante Taylor. I've been seeing a lot of hate on Alante Taylor, and I'm trying to figure out why.
Hate?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people really knocking him for the Titans giving him $60 million. You'll work what they pay you. Titans say you'll work.
If he can get 20 out of him.
He got it out of him, baby. He wasn't getting in New Orleans. We got it in Tennessee. Hey, kid is from Tennessee. He goes home. He goes home to play for his home state team. What more is it? It's just like when players come back to Louisiana. Just like Etienne coming back to the Saints. Coming to the Saints. It's the same for him. Congratulations to that young man. He was an asset, man. He was a hell of a he was one of those picks that worked. He was a second-round pick that was not a bust, that was not a failure, like Stanley John Baptiste. I mean, I'm going back, my God.
Boy, you drawing something bad right there, Randolph. You just put your foot in it on that one.
Woo! But anyway, man, yeah, go miss him. And the thing is, who replaces him? That's what I'm saying, man. Caleb Downs, and I saw shout out to my boy, my brother J-Rock. I saw J-Rock said Bud Clark, the safety from TCU. Kid had a really
good call later on. Yeah,
at the Senior Bowl. That would be a good comp for the Saints in the second round. If they don't get Caleb Downs and you get Bud Clark in the second round, I wouldn't be mad at that, man.
Hey, yeah, like I said, we are doing good with the draft picks. Saints got 8 of them suckers. There'll be a few inexpensive veteran additions later on, but man, that's enough picks to be able to meet several needs now in the defense going forward. So the Saints, man, I tell you, man, they're setting up for an interesting, I'm not going to tell you no lie, man, a very interesting year in the offseason. Ride that energy. All right, let's move away from Kellen Moore and go to our new offensive lineman, Randolph.
Big man.
David Edwards, the big fella. The Saints went after this man.
Get him.
They wanted him. They aimed at him. And David Edwards became a Saint. Let's hear what he had to say at his introductory press conference. Here we go.
Do I got to step up?
You don't have to. You don't have to. I think you're tall enough.
I know, yeah. Well, thank you guys for being here. I just wanted to say a couple things and start by thanking my wife Caroline and my son James for being here. I love you dearly, and it's been a tremendous journey. You've been with me through so much, and really excited about this new chapter. So, and then I'd love to thank Mrs. Benson, Mickey Loomis, Kellen Moore for giving me this opportunity.
Well, you're welcome, guy. You're welcome, guy.
It's going to be a tremendous thing. We're really excited about, and excited to get my family down here to be part of this community, this organization, and really looking forward to getting started. So,
You said
James.
How long did James come with?
3 weeks.
Wow.
So, yep. It's our fourth. Our fourth. Yep. So.
What was, I guess, biggest selling point, besides the money, which is obviously pretty good, but, some of the people here have talked about glimpses of Tyler Shuck in Allen. Did you see that in some way, or just maybe some of the deciding factors?
Yeah, we had a crossover game last year when the Saints played the Jets. We played the Jets the last week of the regular season. And so scouting that film, watching Tyler and this offensive line was really cool. You saw so many great traits and plays and special things that he put on film, as well as KB, Eric, and I knew, Eric was a great player, and so was Caesar. So and Tally. So like, there's so much excitement and momentum. I felt like leading into, this sort of decision that made me feel really good.
How much of a role, if at all, did Will Platt play in your decision making, or maybe even recruitment?
Yeah, we did not talk. The thing though that I would say is that when he was in Buffalo, we would sit outside of our practice field and we had like a council. We called it a council and fellowship, and we would talk about just different things, coaches we've had, try to solve the world's problems, etc. But one thing that always stuck with me was how highly he spoke about Kellen Moore and Brendan Nugent, and that always stuck with me. And so when this decision was coming down to it, just referencing the things that he had spoke about, years ago, really made an impact.
You saw Kellen Moore's offense go on full throttle during their championship run with the Eagles. How much did you envision yourself during that time being a part of that kind of a style, and how much did that play a factor coming to New Orleans?
Yeah, huge. The style of offense that Kellen plays, the run game, the pass game, the protections, the play action, there's a lot of familiarity within that. And then also, it was fun to watch. I mean, there's so much great stuff that they've put on film in years previous, even going back to when he was with the Cowboys. And so, I followed Kellen for many years and have played against his offenses. And a lot of times the one thing I think about is the physicality that they played with on their offensive line and the run game and all the different things that are, important to having a great offense. And so another reason to be really excited about coming here.
You talk about the physicality. You're a 6'6" guard, so that's pretty big at a position anyway.
Yeah.
But inserting yourself in their opposite Cesar with Eric and then Tolly and Kelvin and the tackles, what do you think you bring to complete this offensive line?
Yeah, I think that I bring one of my strengths as a player is technique and fundamentals. Like, I have to play with good technique and fundamentals to win and win effectively. And so the number one thing I feel like I've learned, though, over the years is the closer the unit in terms of just being friends, knowing each other's families, the better we play together.
Right.
And so no matter what happens, I may do it differently than, guys that KB has played with in the past. The most important thing is that we all do it together, because if one guy is not on the same page or one guy is doing stuff differently, it's not going to work. And I know that there's a great foundation here with Nuge and all the offensive coaches that's a message and intent that is really consistent. Like, hey, if we're going to do this, let's do it together and figure out a way to get it done.
What do you know about working?
Let me pause it right there, Randolph. The salad better bring it, man. That's all I could tell you, brother. You better bring it, because David Edwards will, bro.
They need to get them listen, we need a center, because we lost Faulkner to the Panthers. And
to the Panthers. Yep.
Only for $4.5 million, but the difference, he starts. So I can't blame the kid. Shit. Go start or back up Eric McCoy. Go start.
It's almost like starting.
Yeah.
If you back it up, Eric McCoy only played 20 games in 4 years.
In 4 years, man. And that's sad, because we know when he's one of the better centers in the league.
When he's healthy.
When healthy. But as far as season goes, man. Hey, Mickey, you called him out. Mickey, I got to ask you. What finally made you call him out? We've been telling you for years. You need to light a fire under his ass, man. Why did it take so long? What was it?
I've been busy, and I just been
busy stealing our money.
Well, sometimes it gets stressful. One of my jobs is I have to go and massage Miss Benson's, give her a back massage, shoulder massage. Nothing. I'm married, and it's nothing else but that, and just doing that. And then I sit at the phone and do VP type stuff. So I've been busy.
Mickey.
I blame Kai.
Ask you about a back massage, Mickey.
I blame Kai. Kai is supposed to be, and though there are other guys, I don't point the finger at me. I know. But I called him out eventually. I was giving the guy the benefit of the doubt, and God damn it, he's on notice.
Man, I would like to see them real talk. I would like to see them sign a veteran guard and also go and get a swing guard center in the upcoming draft. You got to get him some competition, and dare I say, I wouldn't be surprised if they trade him.
Trade. Who gonna take him? There's in order to be traded, you gotta have a market for him.
There's a market for him. Believe it or not, there are worse guards in the National Football League than Cesar Ruiz.
Well, Dolph, if you can find a market to trade Kai Kroger,
there you go. That's where I was going. That's where I was going. That's where I was going. You traded Kai Kroger, damn it! I know damn well you just trade Caesar. Come on, man.
You ain't lying, bro.
Come on, Mickey. Think about it, Mickey. Think about it.
Well, I'm thinking hard on it. You know, we're gonna see. Like the pressure's on.
But this is the thing.
Give us a 5 and 7, Mickey. Give us a 5 and
7. It was interesting though, Randolph, is that the fact that the Saints are going to be doing a lot of running on that left side, bro. That left side's going to be brutal. That's the strong side.
You hear him say he ain't calling him Calvin Bain. KB already got a nickname. KB
the man.
Left side, strong side, baby.
Left side's the strong side, no doubt about it, man.
Man, that's gonna be awesome, man. I'm telling you, I can't wait. I just need. Here's what I said last night. For the 2026 season, I need this Saints starting offensive line because it's football, you're going to miss time. But as a unit, I need them to miss 4 or less games this season. If that happens, that means we got continuity. That means they're there most of the weeks. This team has an opportunity to do something because of that young man that's back there. Listen, this kid, and I know I'm going off, and I apologize, Q, but
no, go ahead.
This kid, he gave us hope, man. How long has it been since we had hope? Last year, we started sitting watching the end of a game because we were there just waiting to see what's Tyler gonna do. What's he gonna do? We actually had hope. You actually was able to watch a game to the end with the anticipation that we might can win this damn game.
That's right.
And it's been so long, man, since we were able to feel that, man, we done went through the Red Rifle, Simeon, Jameis. I mean, my God, man. Ian Book.
Ian Book.
I mean, come on, man. So it was just so refreshing, man, to see that hope, man. You kind of saw the sun kind of coming up, starting like it was early in the morning. You get that first glimpse of that sunrise, man. But now it comes to this. He's the man. There's no doubt about it. There ain't no quarterback controversy in New Orleans. Tyler Shuck's the man.
You're the man.
And they're showing their belief in him by what they are doing right now. What do? They go out and they solidify the interior of that offensive line to protect their young quarterback. They go and they get him what? A bona fide running threat to go with Alvin. Now, when he just think about this, Shuck, Alvin, Etienne, Olave, Fant, and Juwan Jones on the field at the same time. Boy, that RPO gonna look good, ain't it? That RPO got a chance to look real good because now you got a legitimate threat coming out of the backfield. And we ain't talking about his leg, his underappreciated athleticism that people started to see as the season went on.
Yep, 0 to 60.
Yeah, man, he's a rolling. What you call him? A rolling 60?
0 to 60.
0 to 60, man. And I just want the kid to keep improving, man. But here's the thing I'm scared about, Q. Unrealistic expectations from the fan base for this kid. Unrealistic expectations.
That's a good point.
We got to keep realistic expectations. Family, everything like Q said, right now the energy, we're riding this ball of energy, this ball of goodwill, feeling good. But we got to remember, we drafted 8 for a reason. We were 6 and 11. We weren't a good damn football team.
Right.
It's just that simple, family. We are still in the rebuild, but Tyler Shuck, and let me back up because I'm saying Tyler Shuck because he is the focal point because he's the quarterback. But man, this 2025 class, they have sped up the rebuild process.
Mm-hmm.
Who thought they would hit like they hit? Not only Tyler, Yoni Sanker, Quincy Riley.
Yep.
Hell, I ain't even talking about Vernon Broughton.
Yep.
And they high on him.
Yep.
He gonna be in there. Devin Neal. You know, Matavo got playing time. Fidel Diggs got playing time.
On the back end, all of them contributed.
On the back end, all of them contributed.
Yep.
All these, and if they can hit again in this upcoming draft, look out. And because we know next year, we really got money to play with next season.
That's right.
So, I mean, you know, I didn't want to keep going on. So.
No, that's a good point about tempered expectation.
Yes, really
that's gonna be a chore for some family members because of it's going to be a chore because it is. You're right. There is some restructuring, definitely some restructuring going on with the Saints. The interesting caveat to it is this is not a 21 or 22, 23-year-old quarterback. This man 26 right now.
Yeah.
And by the end of his contract, he'll be 30. So, you know, the Saints have helped to foster the elevated expectation because going after David Edwards and going after ETN and going after and spending this kind of money on these veterans, what they doing, Dolph, they setting up for a run at that NFC South. See, the Saints had several games last year that they gave up that if the pendulum would have swung differently, they would have won. The Miami game was a game the Saints should have won. That was a drop touchdown pass in the end zone by Chris Olave. He catches that ball, that's a win. A few more games we could talk about that we had during the season were wins. They just didn't know how to win yet, but they got it on the back end. They got an identity. We got the QB. But the idea of the Saints is, look, the NFC South is wide open. We got a 26-year-old quarterback. Let's build around this man. And let's just go all in. And this is what we going with, So yeah, you're right. You definitely have to kind of control what you got going on because it's still a quarterback. It's great and good as the man played. Because like I told family members on previous streams, I never seen nothing like Tyler Shuck in the black and gold uniform. Winning as a rookie, breaking Archie Manning's passing records and the touchdown records, and winning as many games. In just 9 games, was a runner-up for the offensive rookie of the year to guys that have been playing the entire season as a starter in 9 games. Never seen it. That is and people, when it's said and done, they're going to really appreciate it, what happened, but that is something that I've never seen before as a black and gold man in any level, especially for the Saints.
Yes, sir. And we, at the end of the season, we heard everyone saying, man, if Tyler would have started the season, we possibly could have won the NFC South, made the playoffs. And I'm here to say, no, we wouldn't have.
No,
Kellen Moore, the greatest coaching decision Kellen Moore made last season
was
not starting Tyler Shuck.
That's right.
Letting him sit in the background, develop on that scout team. Listen, his teammates knew what they had. It was just a matter of time of waiting till he was able to get on the field and showcase it. So, man, again, shout out, man. Now, clock management early in the season was a problem for Kellen Moore. Some questionable calls. I don't know who be advising him to throw the red challenge flag, but that person needs to be I ain't gonna call nobody to be fired, but he needs to be reassigned to another part of the staff, bro, because he sucked, man. I mean, we gotta keep it real, baby. If we sitting at home and we know damn well there's no way in hell they gonna win this. Why are you calling downfield? And Kellen, he just trusting them. But at the same time, you got to see what your eyes just saw. You right there on the field. Hell, some of it happened right in front of him. He still threw the damn challenge flag. But to get back to it, the best thing he did was not starting Tyler Shuck, letting that young man develop. Now he comes to this though. What is it now, Q? Our entire offseason, now teams have film on you.
Yeah.
Your weaknesses, you got to work. Tyler got to work his ass off on his weaknesses and his strengths, improving his strengths and improving his weaknesses. And how do you help him? By doing just like they've done so far. You go get a David Edwards, you get a Travis Etienne, you get a Noah Fant. Tight end room. We were talking about the tight end room last year. Was a problem. Foster Moreau got hurt. Other than Juwan Johnson, we were looking for tight ends. Noah Fant and Juwan Johnson. And man, let's give Juwan Johnson some credit. Early in the season, we got on him. And rightly so.
Bad.
Rightly so. But when Tyler was inserted, all of a sudden.
Yeah, it's crazy how the lights went on.
Yeah, a switch flip.
That's the benefit of having playing in the back end of the season.
Yeah.
And the fact that you having dozens of practices, eventually the light goes on.
Yes.
You've seen several players at the same time the light went on. Juwan Johnson was up and down in the start of the first half. So was Chris Olave.
Yeah.
Second half, those guys turned into world beaters. Juwan had the most a season worthy of a $10 million guy. He excelled. Chris Olave broke through the ceiling. Juwan broke through. And he and Tyler Shuck benefited from that. So that's the thing, starting faster, and that they have the Kellen Moore system. There was some learning and growth pains, but that a lot of these stars or the players that are in the system, they have been in the system, so they can kind of translate that system for newer players. So that's the point of it, going through all of that. Go ahead, Brando. What's your point before we go back to David Edwards?
Yeah, you just hit on starting fast.
Yep.
Man, we were historically the worst team in the history of the National Football League in scoring in the first quarter.
We struggled, especially in the red zone.
Did we even score 25 total points in the first quarter this past season?
25?
Yeah, did we score 25? At least 25 for the entire season?
I don't know. 25 in the first quarter. I don't know.
As a total for the entire season.
Oh, for the entire season.
For the entire season.
I will hope so, Dolph. I will hope. If not, I'm gonna have to look that one up, bro.
Yeah, I'm about to look that one up while we go back to the video. I'm about to look that one up. I'm curious on that one because I think I know we was under 30. We ain't 30, baby.
Yeah, we got to start, but that's the thing. We seen with Tyler Shuck the electricity that he brought to the offense because he's a danger throwing the ball up the field and taking off. He forces teams. He's always a factor. Like he's not a statue back there, and that guys, this kind of stuff. You have to spy for him, and that's a lot of things that the future defense is going to do, which will make his game a lot easier too. When they start studying that film, they're going to have to start spying Tyler Shuck, which creates more opportunities for him to find one-on-ones. So I think they do have the film, but like I said, I think he fundamentally built. And he has the guts and the intelligence to be able to overcome that. And I'm saying that because of not just because of what he did last year, is his temperament. Listening to him in these interviews and how he said that people around him was telling him that, he was having these many injuries that he should just become a coach. And the man was like, nah, he wanted to live his dream. So he did what he was supposed to do. He fought through the injuries, had a stellar year, got with the Saints. And this is a player that constantly plays with a chip on his shoulder. He don't shy away from nothing, and that's what kind of toughness and intentional internal fortitude you need with a quarterback. Oh yeah,
he heard everything they were saying about him, and I love it. He letting it be known. I heard everything they were saying. He said, "Shit, I wasn't injured. I had broken bones. It's a difference."
Yep.
So
came back from it though, Dolph.
He came back strong, man, and he may have saved his franchise.
Wow.
Because think of this. Think of this, and we can move on right quick. Think of this: if Tyler wouldn't have did what he done this past season, will we now be talking ourselves in the tour like they're doing in Atlanta, like we did with Derek Carr? Let's go back to the video.
Wow! I don't even much want to think of where we'd be if we didn't have the Shuckinator, bro. We probably would.
Malik Willis.
You looking at Malik Willis and what's the other quarterback from the Jets that's on the restricted deal? Hendon Hooker.
Hendon
Hooker, Kyler Murray.
Give me Kyler. Well, Kyler signed today too, Q.
He signed with Minnesota.
Yeah, he signed with him.
Yeah.
So
we ready. But yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, but to be in a position like the Falcons going after Tua, Mr. Glass, and they already got a glass man in there. They got twin glasses up in there, man. And they can't break the glass for the glass because they'll break the glass.
They got 2 left-hand Johnnies.
They got 2. I told Lo that. Shout out to my dog Lo. Lo said they're gonna add another quarterback. That's what he told me. The inside baseball from Atlanta side. He told me they're gonna add another quarterback. He told me he called up on the show and told me that the other day. I said, oh, okay. And he kind of named Jacoby Brissett as a possible quarterback that they are, looking at. But I was like, if you got, I don't want to call Penix Mr. Glass, but you got an injured quarterback there who has a wretched injury history. His injury history is worse than Tyler's injury history. Yeah. But the man fought through, became the draft pick, and then you want to have a little bit more steadiness behind him, and they get a quarterback that man got. It should be. I don't know how many concussions the man had. Yeah, Randolph, but he shouldn't be in the NFL.
He's not signed to be a backup.
You think he's gonna be a starter?
He ain't, and he's not signing that contract to go to the line and be a backup. He kind of doing like Daniel Jones.
Penix say he's gonna be ready week 1, Dolph.
We go see.
We shall see.
We go see.
I tell you, man, the Falcon people saying they fine. I was like, man, they might be in a state of delusion right now, but that's okay. They're fine because that's where they live, in a state of delusion permanently. All right, let's get back there. Hey, Randolph, look that stat up and let me know what you find when you do it, bro.
Just looking at the outside.
I'd be interested to see what that is.
Young stalwart tackles to be able to help solidify that line.
It's amazing. I mean, some of the stuff that I've seen KB put on film is really special, and he has the chance to be one of the best, if not the best, tackle in this league. And so
I love it.
That was evident when we had that crossover game, and I referenced that a little bit earlier just with the Jets. He is a tremendous talent, and I'm really excited to get to the chance to work next to him. Because,
left side, the strong side.
I know that we're going to do things together. We're going to work in a way that that is intentful with, doing things in a way that's like maybe different than Andrew Whitworth did when I played with him with the Rams, or Deion Dawkins. Like, there's so much information that I feel like we can do some special things together because of different experiences. And so, again, ultimately, it's just how do we do this together to get the job done.
Have you, in Wisconsin, you overlap with Ramsey?
Yeah.
Have you talked to him as well as start that as well?
Yeah. Ram was a great friend of mine and is a great friend of mine, going back to our time at Wisconsin. And the one thing he had talked about was just how great of a place this is. And so that was a very common theme with the people that I've talked to. Aaron Cromer, guys that have been in this building. And so there's a common theme, I feel like, and it starts with people. And so Ram was someone that I really looked up to when I was a player at Wisconsin, and then even as a young player in this league, because he was so good. And so he's a guy I'm definitely going to lean on as this process continues out because of our friendship and the experience that he had here.
Is there a lot that the Saints offense does that Cromer did? Because I know obviously you've had a lot of your best years in Cromer's scheme.
Yeah, I think that there's similarities with just the structure of the offense, zone scheme, gap scheme. There's different ways to hit blocks and formations, and again, this is a great offense that I've followed a long time with Kellen, and so that was a huge piece to this puzzle. I feel like was the style of offense, and I really feel like it's very similar.
You've been on contending teams pretty much from like the jump. Is there something exciting about kind of help, coming here and taking that next step for maybe a franchise on the Browns?
Yeah, I think that's the one thing that was really cool about this was there's a lot of familiarity with this decision. So the people that I know that have been connected to this building or are in this building, I think the world of. And so how could you not believe in that as you're going through this process that this place is going to get to, where it was in years previous. And so I feel like there's so much momentum and excitement and what a great opportunity this is to play here. Like I'm really excited to be part of this building, this organization, because of the people that are in this building. And so many people I believe in, love and trust, and feel really good and excited about that. This is going to be awesome.
Hey, man, I love every bit of that. Shout out to David Edwards, man. It's going to be a good get for us, Randolph. I feel good about this.
There, that's a leader right there. That's a leader. That's a leader. I like this kid, man.
Yeah, he's gonna tone set, man, and demand improvement. This is a solid player coming from a respected offense. And like I said, man, the strong side's the left side. Randolph, until we get the rest of the guys on the other side. We're only one guy in particular, the salad. We got to get him together on the other side, brother. But yeah, I love what I'm hearing from David Edwards. What's your final thoughts before we move on to Kaden Elliss?
Man, just everything you said, man. Loving that he's embracing his opportunity, but most importantly, he wanted to come here, you know, and he's excited. He sees the potential. He sees who's going to be playing next to him, man. And I can see him taking, you know, KB under his wing, as he called him, man, and working with him, man, and helping that kid reach his full potential, man. Just a great signing. But again, I need it all to come together. But right now, man, it's a great signing, great addition. When you go and you look at his film, man, his pass pro, man, is excellent, man. And he's nasty when it comes to run blocking too, man. So real good gift for the Saints. Like you said, left side, strong side.
Left side, the strong side, fam. That's definitely what KB and David Edwards and a healthy McCoy in the center. And let's see what happens on that right side, man. We know Tali's a beast. We know the potentiality of the right guard position. Could there be a competition at that spot come training camp to improve it? We already heard Mickey Loomis bring light to it. Even Kellen Moore alluded to it, that they're looking for more from Cesar Ruiz, a.k.a. the salad. Now let's get into this one. Here's Kaden Elliss about his return back to the city. Here we go. Y'all hit the like button. Here we go.
Y'all, appreciate you guys. Good to be back. Nice to see you all.
That man,
if you don't mind,
He's smiling.
what's it like coming
That boy smiling like you won the lottery, though.
back to New Orleans and having the opportunity?
It's special. Getting to pull up the facility again, and brings back a lot of memories. A lot of memories of just happiness, joy, winning. Hard work. A lot of people that you love are still in this building, and some aren't, but you get to remember what you did with them here. So, getting to come back has been special.
And what was it like to be on the other side of the rivalry?
I'll always take we got to whoop them next year, but got a lot of love for a lot of the people over there, and sorry when you got to run into us, but besides that, got a lot of love over there.
And how do you feel you've changed from your first stint here, having those 3 years away, and then being back here? How do you feel you are as a player and a person?
Yeah, as a player, God's used every experience maybe on the field that's been seen by the world, and every experience behind closed doors to grow me. Nowhere near a finished product, but I pray I'm closer to Him than I was then. And then as a player, man, I left here. I think I got 11 starts that year. I left. Now I think I had 51 in Atlanta. So it's a lot of experience that I didn't have before. I got to play under 3 different defense coordinators. So a lot of new schemes that I got to learn. You got to figure out new ways to skin the cat. Whereas when I was here, I was under DA my entire time. And it was awesome to learn from him as well. But, now I've learned from 4, and I get to learn from a 5th who's pretty special upstairs right now. So obviously getting to, understand the game from a more complex standpoint, I guess. But at the end of the day, it still comes down to running, hitting, and playing hard. And hopefully that's the same as it's always been.
What's kind of the excitement level for you? You mentioned the 5th upstairs, training sailors, kind of the excitement level for you training is.
I'm really excited. I'm really excited to get to go talk to him right now. I can't wait to hear, really what he thinks and how we can do something special together. I've had a lot of respect for him as a coach, through peers that I've known that have played for him, and through other coaches that I've played for that have worked with him. I've never heard anybody say anything negatively, and pretty much everybody says that he's one of the smartest people they've ever been around. So I'm really excited to get to go talk to him.
I'm sure there's
when you left, there was a really good linebacker here who's no longer here. But what kind of influence did Demario have on you?
Oh my gosh. And Demario Davis is such a special human being. I think everybody that's in New Orleans can attest to that. He's, I have an amazing father that I've gotten to look up to my entire life and try to model my life afterwards.
Big Luther. Yeah.
And my dad is the most amazing man I've ever been around. I've got brothers and a son now that I hope model me in that same way. And although you may never replicate what a father that's in your life and loves you, what he means to you, in a football sense, and as a man, Demario taught me so much in a very similar way. Getting to be behind him was such an amazing blessing that maybe in the time you didn't realize it, because it meant you weren't playing. But what it meant when I did get to play, I was ready. Because I got to watch him go to work every single day. I got to watch the way he approached everything. I got to watch the way he prepared for the game. I got to watch the way he played. I got to watch the way he attacked different situations. And he always talked about his bag, right? The things he pulled out of his bag, whether it's coverage or pass rush or run. Man, he's such a special human being. And then you get into what he does off the field and how he treats the people in the locker room, how he treats the young rookie when he comes into the room as a 7th rounder. And he's just a world-class human. So, Demario is a very special human being that will always mean so much to the city, and I'm just so thankful I've gotten to know him.
That's a lot, man. That's a lot of love, though.
That's impactful right there, man. That's having an impact on someone's life, man. That's impactful right there, man.
More a demeanor, because that's who taught him how to play the linebacker position. Is the man. I ain't gonna say replacing Demario, because that ain't no such thing, but stepping in that role, and being trained by Demario Davis. This is some people kind of forget that Kaden Elliss was here underneath Demario Davis, dealing with his mentorship, and it paid off because he was able to ball out in his final year with the Saints. He had 7 sacks that parlayed into the contract with the Falcons. He had several years with the Falcons. 100+ tackles per season, come back home with the black and gold, and step in the role where Demario has vacated. And so, he talks about impeccable character. He talks about his relationship with his father and this sort of thing. It makes sense to me. What's your thoughts on that, Randolph?
Man, just impactful, man. Like I said, man, this man's been gone for 3 years. He comes back. Demario's out the building. And what he said, man, you can see it's coming from a genuine place, man. It's coming from, a place where, hey, man, this is what this guy meant to me when I was here. This is what he meant to my career. And most importantly, he's saying, man, that's a great human being, man. You know what I'm saying? That's a great man. And yeah, on the football field, he's great, but man, the impact that he made in that young man's life and countless others in the community in New Orleans, that's where he'll always be a champion, man. That's realistically means the most, man. So again, man, go miss Demario Davis and everything he brought, not just on the field, but off the field.
Yeah, a good comment there, Randolph, because the reality is he's playing football with a lot of what Demario Davis gave him. All of the game, the lessons, and like I said, it's a high character person who was trained by another high character person, and he gave him the game in many different ways. So Kaden Elliss, man, make a lot of sense on many levels, man. But like you said, like we always say, you can't replace a Demario or a Cam. You just go out and see if you can get a guy that can bring 75% of what those guys bring. You can only hope to get somebody that can bring 100% of what they want. That'll take time eventually, because these are legend players. But Kaden Elliss, man, is awesome, man.
Right.
Go ahead, Randolph, before we go back.
Madden Goon 8888. I like Ellis coming off the edge. That's it. He's too slow to run with tight ends. Please get Sonny Styles. I'm not comfortable with Pete and Ellis. I don't care what you guys say. We don't care what you say. If you talk about Sonny Styles, you just going on with the big heads that said. Give me another player besides Sonny Styles. Come here talking about Sonny Styles. You just watched them. You just watched them in the Underwear Olympics, and now you on the Sonny Styles train, man. You ain't watched one Ohio State game. Give me Sonny Styles, man. Stop it, man. You on the right show, man. What you thought you gonna just get away with that? Oh, I'm sorry. Let's go. But welcome to the show, man. Ain't nothing but love. Got the best one, man. Ain't nothing but love, baby. Hit that like button and subscribe. Sports Coma. Keeping it real. Who that? Let's get it.
shout out to you guys. Big ups to the fam. I see y'all out there, man. Y'all hit the like button. In the groove. Nola Chop. That's Kai. Shout out to you, man. Lori. What's up, Lori? Shout out to Lori. Much love. Appreciate you. T Mama's in the building as well. Much love to T Mama. Always got to get T Mama the truth. Man. Yeah, much love to T Mama. All right. Big ups to JT, all the fam, OG Jerry. Big ups to him. Roll Carlton. I see you, Carlton. Shout out to Tim Dunn and the rest of the fam. Appreciate y'all. Hit the like button, fam. And also, by the way, there's a poll question up on YouTube for the family members. If you listening into another screen, you can feel free to come over YouTube and vote on the poll. There's a question up there we'll go final with that poll at the end of the show. And it says, which are the signings are your favorites? Your favorite? Which one? Right now, we got almost 100 voters right now. Y'all get y'all vote in. David Edwards, Travis Etienne, Kaden Elliss, and Noah Fant. Which one, what's your favorite signing of those? Right now, Travis Etienne Jr. is leading 49% to David Edwards 45%. That's very interesting. I thought that the big offensive lineman that feel the need would be the bet, but the Who That Nation is talking. Y'all get y'all votes in. We'll go final with that poll. Shout out to Uncle Deuce. Madden Goon responds, I'm just speaking the real. I'm not upset. I'm just comfortable with Pete or Ellis. I got you, fam. Appreciate you. Sonny Styles is an interesting player, but
listen, I'll be happy now. I ain't gonna be crying we get Sonny now. I'm just like,
no, I wouldn't be either, bro. But like I said, the Saints committed $33 million to Kaden Elliss. That might put a little kibosh on Sonny Styles. They might go in a different direction with that 8 overall pick.
NFL too. He's proven he can play in the league at a high level.
Yeah, he got NFL blood. He knew his father was good. He has. I mean, how could you not like Kaden Elliss though? I mean, he's a guy that was drafted by the Saints. His father was in the NFL. Was a big defensive tackle for the Detroit Lions for many years. He came up a high character guy. He worked his ass off from the special teams into a starting position with the Falcons. He was one of their top leaders in tackles out there. When Lowe came on the show, Lowe gave him nothing but love and talked about how a high character Kaden Elliss is. And all he doing is coming home for unfinished business. That's what this is. And he was trained and mentored by the man who left the Jets in Demario Davis. I mean, come on. I mean, you would want somebody to have some of that game to step in there with Demario out in the Jets now. So I think it works. Let's get a few more minutes of Kaden Elliss, then we'll listen to Noah Fant.
Is replacing him?
No.
Is that,
how do you kind of approach Demario, he's his leadership, his voice, his wisdom. Like, I don't think you can replace that with one human being. So, hopefully, that's like one of the great things about this organization that made it very awesome to and appealing to come back to was, how well run it is, Mickey and company, making sure they got the right people in that locker room, in the coaching staff, and it's going to take a group effort to fill the void left by Demario because he's special.
I'm sure there's
said ain't no replacing
of things that weigh into decisions like this, but is it as simple as the last time they didn't have an obvious role for you, and this time they have a role that fits you really well?
Yeah, probably you could get down to the nitty gritty, right? At the end of the day, God's got plans, and just trusting Him and where He leads me and my family. But yeah, last time it wasn't the right fit at the moment, but getting to come back has been special, and I'm really excited to see what we can do.
I guess the best way to describe you would be an off-the-ball linebacker with versatility, but when you talk about their vision for what you could do in Brandon Staley's, obviously you've said lots of different defensive coordinators, it's more of a 3-4 scheme. I mean, is it still off the ball linebacker first and foremost, or are you excited about playing multiple positions possibly?
Great question. Great question.
I'm a pass rusher at heart. I think that's what I'll always say is my first position. I'll probably play most at off ball. Who knows? But getting to go after the quarterback is something I love. I also love the versatility that I can bring to a defense, though. So I don't got to go with the quarterback every time. I'll go cover someone every now and then. Just don't do it too much, please.
Forgive me for not knowing, but were you the Mike in Atlanta? Like, is that an area that
I played Mike and Will, so I played both. I had the green dot all 3 years, and I kind of depended on who I was playing next to, just to cover however I got to do it.
Was the green dot kind of an area that you feel like you've grown since you were here the first time?
Yeah.
On that, like, how did that progression go for you?
I had to find out that I had to tell my equipment guys to turn the volume up because it gets kind of loud sometimes. But besides that, it's just, you got to communicate with the coach a little bit. Obviously, you don't get to say anything to them. You can throw some hand gestures here and there. But for the most part, listen, make that call, and command that huddle.
Owen said,
I like to pick up, man, and like I said, he even understands. He's not delusional. He understands coming into the reporter asked him, about replacing Demario Davis. Man, shook his head, says, no, you don't replace Demario Davis with one person. Like I said, these are legend players. Unless you replace them with a legend, you might need to kind of have some team action there. So I mean, the character is there, and we'll just see what Coach Staley has to do. And like I said, there's still a lot of options as we go into the season and off season. Go ahead, Randolph. What you got, brother?
Before you go to Fant, man, I saw your video earlier today, man. Debo Sanders. Would you like
Debo
that?
Samuels?
Yeah. Would you like them and Debo?
Debo Samuels in the Saints wide receiver room. I think he brings and see, this is the thing. This is that was a video I done where it was options given by a beat writer about people that's out there.
Right.
Debo. Now, a lot of people would prefer the Saints go with another veteran wide receiver because there's still so many wide receivers in the Saints room, and I think we got like 10 or 11 wide receivers currently on the team, something like that. But a great deal of them are inexperienced, right? We're gonna say inexperience.
Yeah. Inexperience. Yeah.
Only experienced guy you have is Chris Olave. So to fortify the room, because you're gonna have talent there. A lot of people would like to see a veteran there, somebody that's played some games that can be relied upon if injuries hit your room. If injuries hit your room and God forbid you lose Chris Olave for an extended period of time, then you have a bunch of inexperienced wide receivers out there with your quarterback. So that's the talking point that a lot of the writers, and I don't see any wrong with it. I think Debo Samuels would be an interesting get. He's a physical wide receiver. He's productive. He got his own group of injuries. That's the only other thing with Debo Samuel. He has some injuries, but outside of that, he's a strong wide receiver that Tyler Shuck can benefit with, and it's interesting. But the price is the price of what you're willing to pay for him. So, I mean, it's interesting. But anytime you start talking about levels of wide receivers like that, Dolph, at that point in time, that's the logic that I think, and I don't see anything wrong with the logic. If this is the NFL, if your top guys start falling out of the way, you got inexperience there. You might have a little too much inexperience there. You might need to get you a veteran in there to kind of study that thing. But yeah. But go ahead. What was your thought?
Yeah. It was just a cure that it cured my curiosity, man. And trying to look at how he would fit in that room. Last year he had over 700 yards receiving for the Commanders, and we got to realize that Jaden Daniels was out most of the season hurt, and that's catching passes from
the backup guy. What was his name?
From a Heisman Trophy winner,
Mariota.
From Mariota. So he evidently he's not the Debo of old, but he still has something in his tank, and I think he can add something to the Saints room. But the thing is, if they were to do that, to me, that would totally take them out getting a wide receiver in the top 3 rounds of this year's draft. Right now, like you said, we got about what 10 receivers right now.
Got about 9 or 10 of them in there, man. But this is the thing. If you did sign, if let's go with the logic that you did eventually sign a guy, like it could be Debo, it could be
right
a guy near that, right? In the next ring of free agency. Where is Debo in terms of order of wide receiver? How, in terms of strength of wide receiver, how does he fall in your wide receiver room based on his track record? Where would he fall?
Or where he stands currently? Where he's at currently?
Period. What he brings to your team as a veteran that played in the starter role over his many years in the years that he played with the Niners, where he played with the Washington Whataburgers. Where does he fall in your depth chart in terms of what you got right now? I would probably put him number 2 to Chris Olave. And what he brings.
I'll put him 3.
Who's the other guy?
Devon Valley.
Valley's more accomplished than Debo.
No, not more accomplished, but right now, and if they were to put him in that receiving room right now, the upside is greater with Devon Valley to me than Debo right now. Now he would definitely add something to that experience, big games, Super Bowl experience. He will add playmaking ability. He's still dangerous with that ball in his hand. I'm gonna say 3. I'm gonna say 3. They'll be my 3. They'll be locks. Those will be my 3 locks right there.
Okay, because that's what it comes down to. It's like if you're Debo wants to command he wants to get paid. Now he's not gonna get broken all big time money, but he's gonna get the kind of money that's warranting his skills and his track record and his resume. He's a wide receiver that played in big time minutes. He's very versatile. You can use him in different ways. He has some injury stuff, but if in my estimations, his overall talent would put him in the Saints wide receiver room as second in overall talent, meaning his track record and resume and what he can bring you. And plus, when you're going to pay him, more than likely his salary wouldn't be no $30 million and nothing close to what you're going to have to pay Chris Olave in time. But it'll be in a way where he would have to be considered in the side of the top 3 wide receivers, no matter how you use him. Like you can move that, Valet. I like Valet too. I like his speed and his size, his toughness. But like I said, that's the thought process if you are making a swing at it in the NFC South, because obviously with these moves, the Saints are pushing to take possession of the NFC South from the Carolina Panthers, who backed into it last year. So this is, and we smacked down the Carolina Panthers twice last year. So if they are opposition, you in trouble. We coming for you. All right, Saints Full Circle podcast. Thanks. Shout out to you, brother. Said we can fleece the Washington Commandos again. All right, I call them the Washington Whataburgers, brother. That's what I kind of see them as. And of course, his second one was Danny is ready. Q, thank you, bro. Appreciate you.
Thank you very much. Picking me up, bringing me back to this world.
You ain't lying.
Appreciate your Saints Full Circle podcast. Much love, brother. Thank you. But yeah, this is one of the things that we dealing with. Like, and we'll see where it goes, Randolph. We'll see how it all moves along as well. All right, let's pivot. Let's pivot to the next and final interview right here. And of course, I know at some point the Saints will bring in Travis Etienne, probably be tomorrow or something like that. Yeah. To get his word in on what he do. Right. We'd be able to see everybody. So here's Noah Fant, the backup tight end that the Saints picked up from the Cincinnati Bengals to back up Juwan Johnson. So let's see what he got to say.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that.
I know you visited here, I think it was eight months ago, before last season. Obviously, a lot has changed about this team since then. What about maybe some of those changes has led to your arrival here at this point?
Yeah, I think that I think the biggest thing is just like seeing how the team developed, the young talent that they had. Obviously, the quarterback showing what he showed last year, and Tyler doing what he's doing has been a huge part of that. I think it was really cool, like the coaching staff being able to come back and still show interest in all those things a second time around and being able to get a deal done. So I was really excited about that.
Did you kind of, I know you were focused on the playing season, but
Mhm.
going into free agency in the offseason, did you identify the potential of going back to New Orleans as something you'd be interested in at that point?
Yeah, I think it was just like kind of like seeing which teams were interested to start, and then identifying where I could see myself fitting and different opportunities of that nature. So I think after getting to talk to my agent, getting to talk to New Orleans a little bit, and getting to negotiate and all those things, I think it made sense a lot to be able to come here and strike a deal. So I'm very excited about that.
What do you feel like you bring to the tight end role here?
Yeah, I think I just bring a very like balanced, being able to catch the ball well, being able to block and stick my nose in the run game, and be able to do all those things and add any element that they need me to. So I'm excited for that opportunity and be able to team up with Juwan. Obviously, that's already here, and he's been doing some great things. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
How do you see you and Juwan combining as a tandem as tight ends?
Yeah, I think that it's just like a matter of having two really good players out on the field that can do it all. I think that watching his film, he's done a great job of his receiving ability, being able to block in the run game also. So just being able to have two guys on the field that doesn't really tip off anything that you're doing is something that's very advantageous. So I think that we could definitely offer that together.
What stood out to you about Tyler? You mentioned him in your first answer about
Yeah.
quarterback.
Yeah, no, I think that he's a good young quarterback that can throw the ball well, that can scramble out of the pocket, that can extend plays. That's what he showed last year, and obviously, when I went through this cycle the first time around, it was like kind of an unknown, right? It was like a rookie quarterback and all those things, and I went to Cincinnati and played with Burrow, and so that played some of a role in it. And then seeing what he did this last season, it's like, okay, like he can play. He's got that drive. He's got that ambition. He's got that fire in him, and he made some really good plays. So that was a big part of it, being able to team up with a young quarterback that's getting going and being a part of that. So.
He ain't lying, Q. He just told you why he signed. He told you, and he telling us why he ain't signed that first. I ain't know what the hell y'all had at quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't want to come here. I ain't believe in Spencer Rattler. That's what he saying.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, but he's saying it now, though.
Look, how how times change. And that quarterback, he can do it all. But listen, like you said, it was really a no-brainer. Let me sign with the Saints or go play with Joe Burrow. Hands down. But now, look at him, man. We got him, man. So that 12 personnel, that two tight ends on the field with that one running back, Chris, man, woo.
That red zone offense is gonna look a lot different there, Dolph. When you have Noah Fant, Juwan Johnson out there at the two tight end set. And it's just, and man, then they high on Mitchell Payton. They're high on Mitchell Payton, and then of course Matavo showed them something last year. So
yeah, he did.
it's a solid room, to be honest with you. Noah Fant coming here, it's a solid tight end tandem with Juwan Johnson. Noah
He's
Fant,
an upgrade from Foster.
Yes, indeed, absolutely.
Yeah, and he's from that pedigree. Them all tight ends.
That's right. Them Iowa tight ends, man. There's several of them throughout the league right now, kicking ass, man.
Cutting up.
All right, we're gonna hear a few more minutes from Noah Fant. Then we'll get into comments and questions. Put it in the chat, fam. Comments and questions in the chat before we close out.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, like at the time, Burrow was a proven quarterback, and being to have an opportunity to play with him. But after seeing what I've seen from Tyler, it's like he can play also. So it's like it's one of those things. But hadn't even seen him play yet. So yeah.
No, I know that you've played in a variety of offenses and had this opportunity to pick your spot a couple of times. What have you decided about yourself that where do you fit the best in an offense?
Yeah, I think that I just wanted to be in an offense that uses the tight ends in multiple different facets of the game, where they can split out, be in line, be moving around, and all those things. And I think that's what Kellen's offense offers, and so that's where I see myself wanting to be at, and where I've found myself at. So that's what I enjoy.
I know you've had the label, at least, or came out with the label of being a pass catcher first.
Mm-hmm.
That's not necessarily how you've always been used. Are you a better blocker that people might recognize, or is that something you really improved as you've gone through?
I think both, honestly. I think that's something that I've improved on as I've grown in my career, and I do think it's something that I don't get as much credit for, because maybe it's like he's a pass catcher primarily, but I'm able to do some good things in the run game, and I've gotten a lot better at those things. So yeah, I'm excited to continue to put that on display.
Was there anything memorable about your first visit here back in the summer, in terms of forming connections or?
Yeah, I mean, I loved all my visits with all the coaching staff, and yeah, it was a great visit. There was nothing bad that happened or anything of that nature. It was just trying to navigate where me and my agent saw the best fit for me at the time, and this cycle around, it was 100% at the Saints, so it worked out.
Kellen joked that he gives you a little bit of a hard time for passing the first time around. What's your dynamic like with him, and have you guys joked about that?
Yeah, I think it's been great the whole time. I've definitely heard it in the building a couple times today. Rightfully so. So I have no bad feelings towards that. So things happen for a reason. I'm here for a reason, and I'm excited to be here. And God has me here for a reason, so it's gonna be good. So
I think it's going to be good too, my brother. Yeah, this is an upgrade at the tight end position. When the red zone roll around, Dolph, it's going to be awesome, my brother. It's going to be awesome. It's another weapon for Tyler Shuck. Another weapon for Shuck. All right.
Too, Q.
Okay. Just a second, my brother. We on the NOLA Chat podcast. Shout out to Kai, says Debo Samuels will be a solid pickup and give us veteran wide receiver and much needed experience. Go ahead, brother Randall, before we get to the rest of them.
All right, here we go. First quarter last year, the New Orleans Saints, baby, a grand total scored 27.
For
the year, in the first quarter all season. 9% of their scoring came in the first quarter. They averaged less than 2 points in the first quarter.
So the combined total of points scored in all of the first quarters of the entire regular season was 27 points.
27.
Wow. That's horrible, man. That's terrible. That is literally the definition of starting slow.
So that's horrible. Kellen Moore and his staff, that's where they have to improve. You got to get this team off to a better start. You were consistently putting this defense behind the 8-ball. You were constantly putting your young quarterbacks behind the 8-ball. They got to start fast. 27, Q.
That's
less
horrible,
than 2
man.
points. Yeah, less than the safety.
That's tragically bad.
Wow.
Shout out to my dog, Tragic, but bro, but that's super horrible.
Yes,
27 points for the entire season. That's the nasty stat of the year right there that Randolph just kicked off. Crazy. H-Town says, come on, Q, why spend big money on a wide receiver when they are rebuilding? Well, I mean, if that's the logic, why spend big money on an offensive lineman or a running back if we rebuilding? David Edwards, why we ain't just draft a guy and build like with a first-round draft pick? Why not do that if we are rebuilding? The reality is at some point, the Saints shifted from like, okay, we're going to take this thing slow to they mashing on the pedal. Anytime you committing that kind of money to David Edwards and ETN in the first day, they're putting it all together to make a run, bro. So yeah. So, I mean, the idea is with a 26-year-old quarterback and a lot of faith in the system with Kellen Moore doing, they're trying to do this quantum leap thing. In order to do that, you need talent. You got to add players like Noah Fant around the quarterback. You got to add players like David Edwards, Travis Etienne. The new feature, you give Shuck a new featured back. This first time in a while that Alvin didn't occupy that role. You add a $33 million player in Kaden Elliss to fit in the center of the defense. And you go at it. They see an opportunity because the NFC South is wide open. They see Atlanta able to be knocked off. We swept them last year, and these were the guys that backed into, no disrespect to the Carolina family members, man, but y'all know what time it is. But, the reality is the Saints are looking at that, and they're saying, man, let's quantum leap this thing. That's what we commit.
I'm going to start a petition, Q. I'm going to start a petition. If you're not 500 or better, you should not be allowed in the playoff. And damn it, you shouldn't be allowed to host a playoff game. I'm tired of this mediocrity. 89. You celebrating. Man, stop it. Below 500.
They will say they got to the playoffs. That's an accomplishment. You know, that they won. It is now, you know, they did back into it, but they, you know, it wasn't on the same energy as taking it. You kind of backed into it.
Because Tampa Bay, they should feel really bad. We ain't even talk about it. I know we run out of time. Mike Evans gone.
I know.
He's not
the San Fran
no more. Wow.
Nope.
This team's gonna look really different.
Yes, they are. They hoping on America and a few of them other guys to kind of step up. They brought Cade Otten back as a starting tight end. They brought Alex Anzalone down there. And really, you know, where's Baker Mayfield? Because he really fell off the earth last year for that team. And he, you know, he's the issue. So, so where is he at there? Because he coach, and it looked like the coach lost a lot of respect for him. But a lot of people know that Tampa Bay, it was time for them to kind of lose ground, so to speak, after being sitting in the NFC South crown for a while. Right. Carolina gets it, and now they spent a lot of money this offseason trying to do it. So that kind of puts the pressure on you to do a quantum leap, meaning go out and get the players to protect the quarterback, run the system, take the pressure off of them, and going out there. They believe legitimately the Saints can take this thing, man. And that's the move they operating on. That's why we see these players, them signing $50 million guy, a $60 million guy, 30-something million player, all this kind of stuff. That's the vein they operating on. It is what it is. They're not sitting back drafting these guys and waiting for them to develop into something. They're going out and get bona fide already plug and play talent. So we hit the ground running, baby. You heard Randolph say with that first quarter stat, that got to go, bro.
27.
That's horrible, dog. All right, shout out to you. What's up, Lori? Shout out to the rest of the fam. Appreciate y'all. Full Circle says Q, the punter was Howard K. He said it was my favorite free agent side. For real, Full Circle.
Hallelujah.
Hey, I ain't mad at him, bro. We definitely could use that. All right, we got any other questions right here for my dog Randolph? He got one here from Pelicans Nola. Shout out to Pelicans Nola. Says, Dolph, what is the statute of the Saints scoring? Oh, he already gave you that 27 points for the whole season.
For the whole season.
Now, that is so tough, bro, because I'm trying to wrap my mind about how poor that is.
Think
27.
But run the season back in your head. Think about it. We were trailing most of the time after the first quarter.
That's horrible, dog.
I believe it was it Buffalo? Was it the Buffalo game when we finally scored in the first quarter? Or the field goal? Or was that the game we scored our first touchdown in the first quarter? I say Sydney's in the building. Hello, Sydney.
It's interesting, man, because that first half of the season was disastrous, man. But yeah, that is the literal definition of starting slow. That has to change for the Saints. Finish fast. Start fast, finish strong. That's got to be the model for the Saints going there.
And we know the first 15 plays are scripted. So what kind of damn script were they coming up with?
A failing ass script is what they was doing.
Only get 27 punts in the first quarter.
That's crazy.
Listen, we were dead. I knew we were dead last, but because I was looking this up the other day and I was like, wow, we really were horrible in the first quarter. We lost the majority of our games were lost after the first quarter. You scored 27 in the entire 17 games. Total 27. Now 27, right? In the total first quarter, right?
Mm-hmm.
For the rest of the quarters, where is that? Where it went? They average 9% there. They scored a total in the full quarter, which was their strongest Q. They scored 105. So the second quarter and full quarter were their strongest. 96 in the second, 105 in the full, and the third quarter was 78 for a total of 306 punts they scored for the season. 27, man. Slow starts played this offense all season.
That's terrible.
That is and I have to call that the nastiest stat of the offseason right there. 27 total points in all 17 regular season games in the first quarter. First quarter points, 27 for the whole year. That is incredibly dysfunctional. So, at least we know that's something to focus on. That's why you go out and get home run hitters like Travis Etienne and Noah Fant and a guy that can block like David. That was a tone setter like that to kind of help that, because we struggled in the red zone too early in the start of the first half of the season, especially in the first quarter. We was just not there, man. But shout out to Pelicans. Nola says, Q, we didn't lose the NFC South by nothing but 2 games. Yeah, we were definitely there. I mean, it's just early on figuring out the Saints had to figure out how to win, and they just learned a little slower than we wanted them to learn. You know what I'm saying? But how does that look in the second year? Kellen Moore has you don't have to worry about finding no staff. He only lost one player. I mean, coach, really. That was Jari Evans. And then you get Will Clapp, who just takes his position. So you didn't have much of a turnover. You didn't have to go out and buy a house because he just signed a contract, assimilate a staff, find out what the whole year's passed. He solved a lot of stuff where, Randolph, where it sets you up for success, because a big, large part of it is who's your quarterback. That's number one. And number two, what's your identity? So they have that. Now you just wrap the talent around them and go from there. That's the simple part about it.
We had no identity in that first quarter.
No, that's something they got to figure out.
Even with Tyler, we had no identity in the first quarter. We still just go 27.
Yeah, we had those struggles, man, and I hope these guys are well aware of that, Brandoff. I hope, because they got an analytic department. Hopefully they are aware of these nasty stats, that you bringing up. That's the nastiest stat of the offseason, brother. Sydney, shout out to Sydney. Big ups to Corey Covington as well. T Mama, much love. Full Circle Podcast says, Q, we need a NFC South roundtable. Thank you
very much.
You ain't lying, brother. We're going to see if we can get that together, man. Thank you for the super chat, bro. Yeah, to hear from Lowe, my dogs Dave and Shad from the PNP Panther Nation podcast, and Big Game James.
I like when y'all together,
from us. Yeah, we're going to see about getting it together, bro, because I know my dog's Lowe feeling good about his selection, so we're going to see if we can put that together, bro. Yeah, it's about time, man, to do one for the first one in the off season there. Sydney says, Q, when y'all doing a round table again? That's y'all on the same vein right there, bro. I'm going to let y'all know, bro. We're going to let y'all know. I'm going to try to see if we can get something together over the next week to 10 days. See if we can get everybody's stuff their schedule lined up. Another question J-Rox is asking, how likely are the Saints to draft Chris Bell? All right, there are a couple of other wide receivers I like, such as Eric McAllister and Chris Brazzell. Yeah, Brazzell's the former Tulane wide receiver that went to Tennessee. Had an excellent 40-time big wide receiver. That really catapulted him up in the rankings, Randolph, when he had that serious 40-time, and then he has that height. Those people love a big wide receiver with speed. That'll get you shot up the rankings. But what you think about that? Were the Saints likely to draft Bell or another wide receiver?
I would love Chris Bell, man. I would love that mentality that he will bring. Kind of reminds me of a young Debo Sanders, and got that kind of mentality with him, man. So Chris Bell in Brazil, man, you saw the talent when he was at Tulane. He goes to the big stage in the SEC, man. He blossoms, and now the young man is on the verge of being a top selection in the NFL draft. Hey, I even saw, I know it was mock drafts, but hell, I even saw a mock draft had them going at the end of the first round. So that's a long way, man. So let me ask you this. Do you believe, because I know there's a lot of chatter about it, do you believe in the next 5 to 10 years that the scouting combine goes away? Then I give you my answer.
Does it go away?
Yes.
I don't think in the next couple of years, no, I don't think it goes away. I don't think the combine goes away. I know they want to change it where they start moving it around to different places.
That's what I'm hearing, but it definitely needs some improvement. But I don't see it going away in 2 years, like them dissipating it and just doing away with it. What's your thought?
My thought is, I don't think it's going away because all these deals that happened Monday, that's where they all were conquered up at, right there. That's how as soon as they hit 4 p.m. Eastern time, that's how you had all these deals coming in. Man, these people, they've been agreed to these deals. They've been to set the parameters and everything.
Some tampering going on.
Man, they tamp soon. Man, you got everybody.
Illegal tampering.
Illegal tampering.
Legal tampering.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. But one thing I think that I would like to see, let's get rid of this legal tampering thing, man. Let's just start free agency. You know, go straight to it. That way, you can avoid what happened.
Then it'll really be frenzied in. It'll really be a frenzy then.
Yeah, you would avoid what happened to Max Crosby.
Yeah.
And I don't care. That GM is trying to spin it. He can spin it however he wants. Trey Henderson price went down. Y'all decided, hey, we don't want to give up 2 draft picks. I don't care what he say. We don't want to give up 2 draft picks. So look, we gonna send back the sender. We rejected. That's what they did, man. And it's low. That to me, that was low though, man.
It was, but if they found something medically wrong with him, now of course they can't tell you that because they don't want to spoil. They don't want to make whatever it was. I don't, that they saying that was wrong enough to cancel the deal because Trey Hendrickson was on tap and they didn't have to give up 2 picks to secure him, and that they got one. So they definitely have to do something about a rule change with that, man, because that is something that the guy kind of got away with one, man. He backed out of a deal for a better deal, in my opinion. You keep his draft picks and get a bona fide pass rusher.
Right. Yeah, Zach, he just had surgery. You know the man had surgery last month. So, but they said
he failed the physical twice.
Right. So y'all gave him back-to-back physicals.
That's right. That's right.
Within 30, I'm just guessing within a half an hour to an hour. Look, we're gonna go back and we're gonna try it again in an hour. Like he gonna check. Come on, man. Think about every trade that happens in the NFL. It's based off a physical. If the player passes the physical, when they really want a player, he gonna pass that physical. That draft. It was that compensation that they were feeling like, now we ain't really want to give up two draft picks to the Raiders.
Which means they were behind the scenes communicating to Trey Hendrickson, Dolph. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
Is it you that means you double dealing. Yeah. So I got the deal with Max Crosby, but some kind of way I'm still communicating with Trey Hendrickson.
Yeah.
Some kind of way.
Ain't gonna try to tell us we were thinking about signing both of them. Man, stop it.
Come on with that. You couldn't afford them. You couldn't afford both of them. They couldn't afford both of them.
Both of them. Man,
he couldn't. He full of bunk on that one.
It really hurt me. And I watched, it was an emotional day. It really hurt me, but man, stop it.
Well, I've never seen anything like that, bro. Where you have it was basically a done deal, bro. It was a done deal, and then next thing you know, trade over with. They said they gave him 2, but the bottom line is this will have to be addressed in terms of a rule or something that has to come up with. But that Acosta, he backed out a deal for a better one, Dolph.
Yeah,
you can't be mad at him. He can't be mad at him for being smart.
Look, they gave him that new move, so he used it. But,
right.
But the other GMs are like, man, what's really going? Really, that's how you gonna do it? Come on, man.
They'll be mad at him for a little bit. Yeah,
that'll make people kind of when they're dealing with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, that was very interesting. I was like, what? That's crazy work. How that work. So what's the latest on Crosby now? Who's interested? He is. Because Raiders put out a statement saying that they couldn't afford to take him back without moving some money around or some kind of stuff like that. So he's in contractual limbo according to what. Then they released a statement or something on that whole situation. But where's Crosby now?
He released a statement saying, let's roll. Going
back to the Raiders?
Yeah, I'm a Raider. So
boy, he got egg all over his face, boy.
But it's not. Yeah, you do him like that. You do the kid like that, man. Hey, that's why I say these players, when y'all be crying like, oh, they holding up, man, get your bread, get your money.
Yeah, get your money because you got to put the same onus on the teams that you do the players, because the teams be doing these players the similar ways. So it's you got if you're gonna hit one, you got to hit them the other.
And Q, what we don't understand, man. We see these players out there on Sundays and Mondays and Thursdays and Saturdays. Do we know what these players go through during the week? The rigorous stuff they put their bodies through, man. We don't see them going home to their loved ones, barely able to get in and out the bed, man. Say, man, and that's why when somebody say, man, a player is soft in the NFL, ain't no player soft. You ain't soft playing in the National Football League. Somebody running 25, 30 miles an hour, hitting your ass like it's a crash on I-10 between two 18-wheelers. You ain't soft, brother. You got to have heart to play in the NFL, bro. Real hard. And Real Fan Sports, shout out to my brother. Zach is in the house. Real Fan Sports, come on in. Sports Network says, I don't think so because, what do you say, Raiders? Let me go back to that. Let me see. We say, I don't think so because Raider fan base wanted him. I don't think there's any bad blood with him. Yeah, the money gonna be hard though. Yeah, Zach, the money gonna be real hard, bro. Like Q said. But look, I think when the trade was announced, they had like 60 million. But now that he's back, they took 30 million off their cap. So now, hey. Yeah, Uptown Stud said that injury requires 8 to 9 months to fully heal, and he got the surgery in December. Ain't no way he was passing in the physical. That's what I'm saying. Why even make the trade, bro? Why even make the trade?
I think Max put the pressure on him though, but you know how there are trades that are made and the guy doesn't pass the physical, then they kind of put language in the agreement and all this kind of stuff to protect the team. We've traded for players that were hurt before. The Saints did that, and they put language in the contract to protect themselves. So we've seen that happen before, but this time around, what Acosta did simply is he was double dealing. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts on that, Randolph. He was double dealing. They had to deal with Max Crosby, and then behind the scenes, he was communicating with Trey Hendrickson.
That's what happened, man. Now, they had it. I'm gonna tell you who was on the table who might come back. Jerry. Cowboys offered the 1 and 2. It's just the Ravens said we'll give you 2 1s. I'll be talking to Jerry sometime. We share the same birthday. Dolph. Who's your friend, Dolph? That's big Q. That's cute. That's cute. It's supposed to come with Jerry. Dolph. Man, Dak, man, I don't know what's going on with Dak, but I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna talk to you about Dak. But we had the deal for Max. We had the deal for Max, and them damn Raiders, man, they hoodwinked us, Dolph, and they decided to go to take what the Ravens get them, and that's what they get, Dolph. Because look, man, we're the Cowboys, man. We're America's team, man. We're the most profitable franchise in all the sports, man. Why wouldn't he want to come here? He's from Texas. Well, listen, Jerry, I have nothing to do with that. I still believe that you should get him, Jerry. Well, I got to talk to Steven. I don't know, though, because sometimes Steven, I don't know, he be hitting the bottles. I don't know sometimes. Steven don't let me do some things sometimes. All right, Jerry. Look, Jerry, I'm gonna talk to you later, man. I'm gonna talk to you later, my brother. All right, dog, man. And what's the guy name? Nice to meet you, man. Love your show, love your platform. Is it QB? It's Q, Jerry. Okay. How about them Q? No, Jerry. No, Jerry. No, Jerry. Not. Jerry. I'll talk to you later, Jerry. Okay, dog. Good night.
No, Jerry. How about them? No, We got Dallas people listening to the stream, man. Shout out to the Dallas folks. But yeah, man, it's an interesting time for them. I mean, they need a pass rusher. That might be something they want to do as we get later on. We'll see. Yep. We got to take care of business our damn selves, with Cam or whoever we get in the draft or however the Saints gonna handle it. And one of the final comments here, Nate Frog says, since we signed back Julian Blackman, do you think Sanker comes off the field, or does he perform too well to take off the field and play him in the slot? Man, listen, man, and Dolph, you can feel free to comment on that, but I think it's Sanker's job, man. The way Sanker played, I would not dare take Sanker off the field to put Blackman on there. Blackman got hurt, and the old adage about losing your job to injury, but when Blackman got hurt that first game and Sanker stepped in there, that's a done deal, baby. That's Sanker's job all the way. Blackman has to operate as the backup now. Now, do they have an idea of something they're going to do with Jonas Sanker in terms of it? Now, there's rumors saying how does he look in a different role, this kind of thing. That's unverified. And, of course, as we get further into the season, we'll see what kind of moves the Saints make with remaining free agency as well as the draft. That's the next big shoe to drop. But I would not dare take Sanker off the field for Julian Black. But Sanker owned the job. He stepped in that role. That's his job. Go ahead, Dolph. What you think about the question? Thank you, Nate Frog.
Yeah, thank you for that question, man. Sanker starts, man. I mean, that kid was put in a position that he was not ready for. And each and every single week, we saw that young man get better and better and better and better. I would not dare take him down unless we get Caleb Downs. Then we talk it. We're going to have to run 3 safeties. Sanker, Downs, and Reed. Blackman be the backup. Boy, that would look nice. 3 safeties back there like that. Man, woo.
Because Blackman could play, bro. Blackman could play, bro. He could play. But it's just that availability thing, man. Yeah.
What do we like to say, Q? You take it when that door opens, you get that opportunity. It's all about what you do with it. And he grabbed it by the horn, bro. And it's his to lose going into camp, in my opinion.
Yeah, Zach says I would take Reed off the field before Sanker. Yeah, but this is the reality, man. Is that we're gonna see how it all looks, man, because there's still some moves left to be out there for us, man. Like we know, losing out on with Cam still out there in free agency. Saints couldn't come to a head with a deal. He's out there. You're looking at Demario going to the Jets, Alante going. Yes, a lot of changing in key positions for the team that the Saints have to address. They bring in Kaden Elliss. We still have to see what's going on with the position for Alante, if they'll address that internally with the team or bring in a free agent or a guy in the draft, whatever the case is, still very early on in the process. So that's the cool thing about it. Watching it all happens live time, man, and reacting to it with the fantastic family members, man. It's Jake Hayner for MVP. Yes, indeed.
Man,
all right.
Attention to who that record. That man.
Hayner is not anybody. Maybe his family MVP, but man, listen, man, no.
Will he start the season for Kansas City?
For him?
Mahomes not ready? If Mahomes not ready?
I think somebody's ahead of him in that on the depth chart.
I think Jake Hayner better than that kid we saw last year for Kansas City, and that's saying a lot.
I'm about to try to tell you, bro. You up a river without a paddle if Hayner is your back quarterback. Yeah, they got I can't even pronounce the guy's name. Chris Oladukan. Is that the man name from South Dakota State? His 7th-round draft pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, but then again,
ain't no Brock Purdy.
No, he ain't no Brock, not even close, bro. But I something tell me they probably gonna address that position somewhere. In the free agency, they're gonna probably add another vet in there some kind of way. Add him to it.
We're gonna have to, man.
We got a retired vet that might be able to help him. Give us some picks for him. We'll be able to set him up there. He can back up.
You say he only want to play for a contender.
Right, that's Kansas City. You're backing up Mahomes and you get a check. I back and ship his ass up there.
You hold it down to them.
Right. I would make that move. Kansas City. How about it? You got a retired guy here that can be a backup for you. And Kansas City is putting it together, Dolph, like it's supposed to be. They're trying to make a run at it, bro. They, Kenny Walker and all them other guys.
And Chris Jones around here recruiting.
Trying to get Cam up there.
Trying to get Cam. He got photoshops of Cam with a Chiefs uniform on and everything. Boy, I ain't mad at Chris Jones, man.
But running the whole propaganda machine over there for
the whole propaganda trying to get Cam up there. Cam don't like that code, bro. Cam don't like playing the code. But if he does go, man, there'll be an opportunity for him to get a ring, man. So at least it won't be a lateral move. I don't understand leaving and going to the Falcons. So.
No, not at all, brother. But hey, listen, it'd be funny though. It'll be funny. You don't think Derek Carr getting traded to the Atlanta Falcons?
Oh, Derek Carr. I was talking about Cam.
Oh no, that Cam, he'll never do that.
Yeah, he'll never do that.
He'll never do that. He'll never go to the Atlanta Falcons. He'll stop.
Somebody the other day put that in the chat. Atlanta fan. Cam come, man. Ain't no way in hell.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. He would never do that. He slammed several Saint players for doing that. He would never do it. He would never do that.
Kaden Elliss.
He would never do that. Yeah, Kaden Elliss went that way. Then came, and look what he came right back home. Yeah, Joe Horn. This is crazy. The thing to talk about here, Randolph. We're gonna say this. We're gonna leave. Right. The interesting part about it is when Kaden Elliss, he was drafted by the Saints in the 7th round. Leaves in the final year, right? His contract expires, rookie deal expires, goes to Atlanta. So drafted by the Saints, goes to the Falcons, comes back to the Saints. In the history of the Saints ever, in the Falcons, period, there's never been a player that was drafted by the Saints that went to the Falcons and came back to the Saints. Kaden Elliss is the first and only player to do that.
Wow.
I looked that up and I was like, man, that got to be something somebody else. No, that never happened before. Now you had players that came here from another team, signed with the Saints, or you had Bobby Abed that was drafted by the Saints and went to the Falcons, but he never came back. Same with Martin Anderson. They never came back. It was a one-way. Joe Horn, started with the Chiefs, came to the Saints, went to the Falcons, never came back. It's a one-way. Yeah. So Kaden Elliss the first only one. Just a little stat for y'all. But Randolph, your final thoughts before we dirk out, and of course, tell the family members, bro, about your platform and where they could you could be reached, my brother.
Well, first of all, my brother, as always, man, thank you for having me on, man. Ain't nothing but love and appreciation, man.
Salute, my brother.
For y'all who don't know, man, that man right there is the reason I'm sitting here right now, man. Showed great belief in me, man. Gave me the knowledge that I needed to start, man, and that's why I'm still pushing on today, man. He's not only, man, a great mentor, man. He's a great friend, man. I appreciate you. Listen, man, y'all can find me on the Keeping It Real Who That Sports podcast. Also, the Come On In Sports Network, baby. Man, you see the shirt. Your boys over that work. I'm at the Senior Bowl, baby. I'm at the Legacy Bowl, baby. East-West Shrine game, baby. And coming soon, NFL Scouting Combine, baby. Just wait, baby. But we working on some big things, man. And listen, Come On In Sports Network, man. That's the sports network I started. You see Zach in here, real fan sports, uneducated sports talk. And we even got a Falcon in the building, Atlanta Falcons fan. Demi, shout out to my brother Cowboy, because I know he's looking right now. Come On In, Bills, man, the coach, the flagship, man, the Keeping It Real Who That Sports podcast. Y'all already know the doors are now open. So come on in. Appreciate you, my brother.
Shout out to Brother Randolph, man, and appreciate y'all for joining on this show, man. Y'all check out Brother Randolph. Link in the description section below to subscribe to his show. We appreciate him, man. The man's a diehard. He know what he's doing. Good brother, man. Y'all see energetics and just an awesome person, man. And y'all show him some love. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, fam. Shout out to FanDuel, the official sponsor of the show for all y'all prop bets. Check out FanDuel. Also hit up the links in the description section for merch. This is the Shuck Y'all merch collection. It's available 5 different pieces of merch from the Shuck Y'all commercial. Chuck Norris and several others. Really parody. It's a parody type deal going on. Y'all can check that out. The links will be in the description section as well as the community section of the page. Y'all check out whothatdaily.com for all the latest news, not just in New Orleans, but across the world. whothatdaily.com, the full news source on everything. With that being said, we're going to get on out of here. We appreciate y'all, man, for joining us with your valuable time. Y'all hit that like button, sub up, and we're going to holler at you on the next one. Much love. Peace. Who that to you, baby?
Yeah. Boogie like Vincent, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Long as I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. Sports Coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, 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 Boogie like Vincent, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like Elf. I thank God every day I'm not a felt. Go to YouTube Live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your shame for the championship. Bucking on town, duck down. Falcons, pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy and you probably smell the crooked referees on Roger Goodell. Yeah, probably like this and I'm a who that. Every day I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like this and I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that. You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
Hey, New Orleans! Whether you're catching up on Saints news at Jackson Square, checking Pelicans scores in the Garden District, or staying updated on LSU while grabbing coffee in the French Quarter, there's one place that keeps you connected to everything that matters in our city. From Bourbon Street to the Superdome, from Preservation Hall to the Riverfront, New Orleanians are staying in the know with the whothatdaily.com, your daily source for Saints, Pelicans, LSU, and all the sports, music, and culture that makes our city special. At work downtown, at a game in the Dome, or just relaxing by the Mississippi, wherever life takes you in the Big Easy, you can stay connected. Because when you're from New Orleans, you don't just live here. You stay in the NO. That's stay in the know. Visit the whothatdaily.com and never miss what matters most to Who Dat Nation. Stay in.
Welcome to the Pro Shop, where we create authentic NOLA-inspired clothing for men, women, and children. From Saints jerseys to Pelicans gear, everything's crafted right here in New Orleans. Whether you're shopping the Pro Shop, the Pel Shop, or the Pro Shop Kids, we've got your whole family covered with genuine merchandise that represents our city's spirit. Check for links in the description section below or in the chat.